English. So this is the most I've ever felt out of place. And I've been to many different countries, and I've been to Africa, I've been to Asia. But this is the most I've ever felt out of place. But people are friendly, and the cost of living is really good, like fantastic. Like this cost me $1 from a service store, and it's part of it cost me $200 or something like that. So that's all cool, and the people I've met have been wonderful. So yeah, I feel very good about Bulgaria. Better than I expected, actually. Brandon Berry says, I think it's like 14 US a month. Yeah, it depends what membership plan you go for, but johnabond.com is you get my content and you get the community. And I think most people, it's the community that they care about more, the Discord and the calls that we have off the record. I think some people love my content, which makes me feel fantastic, but I think some people are just like, his content's okay, whatever. It's other people. So that's cool. I like them too. So it's cool, man. It's no problem. It's like, man, if you could pay one coffee per week, or a pint of beer per week, and then you have 24/7 access to a little.
How you doing, Vlad?
Talk. What we know, this is bullshit hoax, man. Bullshit scam, man. Would you pay the coffee or the beer per week? Some people would. Some people wouldn't. I want to hang out with people who would, not those who wouldn't. Because those other people who wouldn't, what are they spending money on? Yeah. I'm trying to say, like, people have money. We all have money. We vote with our wallets. So who votes for good? Who votes for... Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Truny says, I like you, I enjoy you, but I was working in a restaurant that went under recently. I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Dude, people are getting messed up out there, man. Especially small businessmen getting messed up. So
the snow keeps coming and going here, Vlad.
That's a real thing.
Comes, it goes, it melts, it snows, it melts. It's been good, actually.
By the way, this stream is dedicated to Duncan. Duncan, any more questions? Leave a question, I'll give you my best answer. It might not be a good answer, but I'll give you my best answer.
How you doing, madam?
Says, false witness to murder. Those are some powerful words that stuck with me. Brandon sends me. Dave J taught me some good things. For example, I used to give away too much time to people who were wasting my time.
How you doing, Vlad? Madam Medusa.
I didn't understand that they
just watching GLB here.
Enjoyed my intention. Like it had nothing to do with the truth, or I've got no.
There's another thing I forgot to mention about the whole GLB is that Jeff C died, and there's rumours that it might be a fake death or whatever. Jeff C. I remember listening to Jeff C years ago, and I remember there was a big rift when that flight was the M24 or something like that. I'm good, madam. Cheers. How you doing, Laurie? Nice to see you. It's been snowing in northern Alabama. Freaking cold here. It's cold here as well. It's been hitting -5 Celsius, which is pretty cold here. How you doing, Sue?
You and I do. Let's try and get to the truth.
I'm just listening to my buddy.
They just wanted my
John.
attention. I can understand that. And then, to use one example, there's this guy called Guy at fakeologist.com. And I would waste all this time trying to go around like, yeah, but how do you know this? Let's check this. Okay, why do you believe that? Let's check that. Blah, blah, blah. Getting nowhere with him. And then Dave Judges came along and said, you have the heart.
Well, Laurie, it looks like that's it. Looks like the whole Make America Great Again era, that's gone. It's got to be a new America. a Biden America, and probably a Kamala America. Strange. Didn't think it would ever happen, but it looks like it's happening. Looks like Trump's out the door. Looks like he's going to get dragged out the door. And that whole Capitol Hill palaver, God knows what that was all about. It seemed too easy for the people just to push their way into that building. I'm very upset with the Queen. Is there a picture? Picture of what? Oh, JLB.
Deceiver. Just like that, straight up. Straight up. Didn't even try and argue the points with him. And then Dave J said, if I take a rock and put icing cake, pardon me, and I put icing cake and a candle on that rock, do you understand that this is not a cake? This is not a birthday cake. Right? In other words, if I package...
Laurie's got the machine gun ready. She's locked and loaded, Laurie. She's ready for those Antifa to come and take her away and make her work as a slave in a commune farm type thing. That's maybe what will happen here, Laurie. The Antifa mob will come, drag you away, put you in some kind of workhouse, commune, gulag kind of thing, making... What will you be making? Wicker baskets to maybe collect fruit in California. Maybe that's your future. The cops loot them in the Capitol. So whose side is the cops on? I thought Trump was the cops, and I don't know what's going on here. It's just it's looking really bad for Trump supporters at the end of the day. Doesn't matter how you look at this. 5 people dying in Capitol Hill. Supposedly 5 people dying in Capitol Hill. It doesn't look good. No way. I think even Pence and everybody's kind of recoiling. Laurie's saying, if we don't take a stand now and fight back, all is lost. Well, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? And I thought this was going to be Civil War stuff, and I said they would make a little incident, like a little false flag incident to try and kick something off. And this could be the fuel. So Madam Medusa says, Laurie Gale, have faith. You think Trump is throwing in the towel. The legal framework has been put through. Treason has been committed, and laptop of hell is still to come. Validation boy, Roddy Study in the house. How you doing, mate? Hope you had a good New Year and Christmas with your family. Vlad saying, I've come to realise that patriots are mythical creatures. Here, patriotism is very subjective to each person, what a patriot is. I don't think you can define patriotism in one block. If you really look at National Socialism as a form of patriotism, being a National Socialist. And National Socialism is kind of bordering on communism. It's just a little piece here, a little difference here, a little difference there, but it was either Trump's National Socialism or Biden's communism. Both are the left and right cheeks of the same arse. And it's just shit that comes out the middle. Mythical creatures, there should have been pikes of dead bodies, police, politicians, Antifa, BLM, and whoever stands in the way. I didn't even see any BLM there. Was there BLM at the Capitol Hill? It was just all these Trump flags, these double-ended flags. Just a mob of flags and sort of like army helmets and backpacks and red caps. Older people as well, a lot of older people. So look at older people. Piles. Vlad's got the piles. How free is Scotland, Jed? We're not very free either. No country in the Western world is free anymore, really. After, God, you'd have to keep going back and back and back to figure out when we were actually free. We were probably free at a tribal level at some point. But since there's been kings, politicians, and presidents, we've not really been free. We've all had to live under some kind of law. So, like I said, freedom is very subjective as well. How free you are, how big your cage is. I've got a bigger cage than you. That's what we could say about freedom in the Western world, that who's got the bigger cage? We're all in a cage. Some people have more people in that cage with them. I'm just lucky I'm living in a country that has like a 5 million population, so we've got a lot more land per person to move. It is sad. I came to the reality probably about 7-8 years ago that democracy doesn't exist really. Probably about 7 years ago, 2014. It was probably during the Scottish independence. That's when I lost my faith in politics. Vlad says, I don't even care anymore. I'm living at sea very soon. Selling everything I have to buy a ship. And that's a bit extreme, Vlad. You're buying a ship? How much does a ship cost nowadays? You're probably talking like, what? A ship? Like not a boat, a ship. You're probably talking about $250,000, 250 grand, probably, something like that. Emma Coombs is saying, watch Monkey Works on YouTube.
Duncan, it's not the truth. Do you understand it's not the truth? Like
Only 5 million. There is 13 million in PA alone. Wow.
God.
Scotland, there's only 5 million us left. It's just over the years they've managed to keep the male population. Every time there's a big war, you'll find that the Scots and Irish are thrown at the front. Even back in the Confederate War, like with the Americans, like you find that the Scots and Irish were at the front line, getting killed. So the Irish and the Scots and the Welsh, if you look at the Celtic countries, we're all pretty small compared to England with their 55 million. England have got 55 million, and then Scotland's beside England. There's no hard borders. So we've got 5 million, they've got 55 million. I think Wales have got about 3 million, something like that. I think maybe Ireland, the whole country, you're lucky if they've got maybe 20 million. I'm not sure. Don't count me on those numbers, but Scotland is very small. And this town, this little village I live in, it's only like 2,000 people here. 80,000, says Vlad. 80,000 what? In your state, your area? In my area, you don't flip people the middle finger when you're driving or anything like that, because you'll probably see them again. You're very polite to everybody because you'll see them. You won't pass them again, guaranteed. So anyone see the Chinese moon landing? Oh, wow. This Chinese moon landing was pretty hilarious. Try and find it. The Chinese moon landing from like the other week there. Oh, the Chinese moon landing was in fact worse than the original Apollo. It was. Oh, you should see this stuff. China lands on moon. This is hilarious, guys. This is ridiculous. How many different versions is there? Let you see this. Chinese. Oh no, I'm just finding new videos here. China's weird moon discovery baffles scientists. Probably need to get a bit closer there. But some of this stuff's ridiculous. Why is it 5 months ago? Where's the stuff that only happened like a couple of weeks ago? No way. They're probably taking it down because it's so bad. Is that there? Oh, that's it. Fuck off. Fucking shit. This is it here, guys. You should see this crap. This is unbelievable. This is worse than the Apollo. This is unbelievable, guys. Oh, can't see it. Put it back to the start. You see how ridiculous this is, guys. Fuck off. Fuck off. That's the biggest fucking. That's worse than like 1969 effects. How many frames per second is that? Is that like 10 frames a second? Not even that. It's probably like 4 frames a second. It's ridiculous. This is the world's first. Oh. And we're eating this up. The Western news is believing this shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking hardly anybody even knows about it. That's fine. Fucking what? China landing on the moon? The fuck? What a baggy shit that is, eh? Jesus Christ, man. That's like the worst. The worst. Right, where's my chat? We're only getting audio. Mr. Britham says 4 relatives killed the First World War and grandfather killed in the Second World War. All English. Jed, freedom awaits. Jed admitting space is fake. Progress right there. I'm not saying space is fake itself. It must be something up there. But that was bullshit. The Chinese can't fucking land on the moon. The Americans can't land on the moon. Never mind the Chinese. It looks like Angel Delight. I know, it looks like porridge. It looks like my porridge in the morning. And wow, like that thing landing there, their wee lunar module. You can't see it. It's shocking. Oh, that's brutal. It's hard to see their wee shitty lunar. Ah, there we go. There we go. See their lunar module? It's like the exact same as American ones. They can even, the Chinese are that shit at designing their own stuff. It's like an exact copy of the fucking American one. Look at that. It's a fucking joke. It's an absolute joke. They couldn't even design. The Chinese are masters at replication. Fucking terrible. That was like. That's hideous. The moon and sun are lights. Aye, well, when you look up at the sky, you see the moon, you see moonlight, but you see there's something. I can see the sun's just light because you can't actually see a solid surface on the sun with your own eye, unless you get like those welder's goggles, and you can see like black spots and stuff on the moon, the sun. Sorry, a snowman. I hadn't heard about the Chinese moon landing. That happened like a month. That's like a month ago. Oh, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Like, and we're just eating it up. We're just fucking eating it up. Like our media should be calling that shit out. How refreshing would that be? Imagine the BBC turning around and go, China pretends they landed on the moon. That'd be fucking brilliant, eh? But this kind of shows you they're all in cahoots. The Chinese, the West, they're all in fucking cahoots. And this whole virus with the Chinese, This is an arranged, agreed step down by the Chinese. The Chinese are stepping down. It's like 2021. That's their time now. I think America are going to become the next China, to be honest with you. The next 10, 20 years, America are going to be similar to China. But that whole Trump thing, the whole Capitol building, and Trump, it's funny how Trump told him to stand down, but his tweet got deleted. It's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. I was just listening to my buddy, my buddy John LeBon there. He was having a few beers. He's selling his website pretty hard, like, but he's still pretty good to listen to. Where is it? It was like 5 hours and 20 minutes John LeBon was speaking for. United States of China, says Vlad. Yes, Jed, we are China now. It's going to look like that. Wait. The Chinese have been probably this. It's been a big experiment with the people over the past 50 years in China. Because in a way, China wasn't a full communist. They still dealt with us. They still all our stuff came from China. So when we thought of China as a communist country, it's like it was different for the way we looked at Russia, because Russia wasn't selling us all these products. So to think of China as a communist country is kind of wrong, because they didn't. It wasn't for the benefit of their own people. It was for the benefit of the West, their country, the way their social structure was. It was to benefit us. The British gave the Chinese the country back so they could serve us, so they could make stuff for us. And they've become very powerful doing it for the past 50, 60 years. And now it's time for them to step down. It's time for them to step down, and it's going to be a restart. It's going to be a restart anyway. I think Biden might keel over before even the first year. Andratzi, how you doing, man? They cheated in the elections. I hate Democrats so much, says Laurie Gale. My poor grandkids. Dave Little says, Jed, you get in the Jag, or you be a Jag skeptic media. Nah, I'm not getting any Jag. There's no way I'm getting a Jag. They can keep their Jag. That's the third one that's came out in Britain now. Third company. I don't know why these vaccine companies have to, when the media announces this vaccine, they have to have the company name at the beginning. Is it Pfizer? Is it Bayern? Is it this? Is it that? Why isn't it just a vaccine? Why isn't they rejoicing they've got a vaccine? Why does it have to be Pfizer or Bayern? It's plastered all over the media, the name. It's like an advertising for them. And it's funny, there's a new third strain. There's a new third strain out, guys, in Britain. A third new strain that's different. And so they'll need a third new vaccine. And that's what they're talking about. So crazy, guys. Crazy stuff. And they're even admitting that if you're thinking about planning a family in the future, maybe to stay away from the vaccine, because it could mess with your fertility. They're saying here. Nah. I know certain people, they got the Jag, the first Jag, and they were meant to get the second Jag, and they were told not to bother because of all the stuff in the media or the news over the vaccines. New strain in Japan too. See, the most cynical people, like, towards conspiracies, like the most cucked out mainstream people must be even thinking now, God, what, a third strain? This is weird. It is weird, guys. We're living in a Black Mirror episode. Definitely. How you doing, man? How you doing? There's Jez. How you doing, Jez? Jez is building the OCP building. Biddy Mick, how you doing, man? Hi, Jed. In the chat, getting pressure at work to take it. Aye, it's I'm wearing a snook. Is it a snood? A snood, guys. It's like a big scarf. It's like a neck scarf thing. And if you're at your work, just pull your neck scarf up a little bit, and that's it. That's it. When I'm in shops, when I'm out and about, I don't even wear a mask. But when I'm at my work, your work has to your work pressurizes you. You just wear a snood, and it's good for this weather as well because it's freezing anyway. So you need to wear a sort of scarf. Mr. Britam, America, China, Russia space program are all trained in Russia, called Star City, in a big water tank. Probably, man. It's probably somewhere else nowadays. Lottie Gale says, my whole family had COVID over Christmas. No one dies. It was easier than the flu. Nothing to worry about. Even then, Laurie, how do you know they had COVID? How do you know they had COVID? Because they were told by somebody they had COVID. It's like people are just believing other people. Because we're not doctors or nurses, if someone tells us we've got COVID, we've just to believe them. So Vlad says, how convenient, new strains. I'll take my chances with a 99.4 survival rate. I know, Vlad, it's crazy, yeah? When you think about it, like the flu, like if they put this much effort into like the AIDS, when AIDS broke out, I mean, if they put this much oomph towards solving it, they would have got a cure for it in a year, or 2 years, 3 years for AIDS. Because AIDS is a virus as well, so it's crazy how they're coming up with all these vaccines so soon. So Biddy Mick says flu and cold rebranded. By the way, 2020, I never had anything wrong with me that whole year. That's the first year I think I've never even had a sniffle, a cold, anything at all. 2020. But funnily enough, at the end of 2019, just in like, it must have been November, December, like the end of November, beginning of December, I had like a flu. Like a guy from my work went down south. He came up. He was ill. He worked with me. He was lying in the van all ill. And then I was ill. You never know. This could have been this so-called COVID, this flu back then. Could have been back then. So they're talking about guns. No guns by next week in USA. So war with that. Dave Love, first year I've never had a cold for over a year. Same here, man. We're all keeping our guns, Andratsy, all of them. I was reading that in some of those vaccines, they put AIDS virus in it. You were reading? Where were you reading that, Emma Coombs? Because that's a claim and a half. I've not heard any rise of AIDS because of vaccines.
Do you understand if I repackage bullshit as truth is not the truth? Is that, and the guy just like, I'm jealous.
Flu's like Clark Kent and turns into Superman. COVID-19. Laurie Gale not getting my guns. Aye, Laurie, they're going to take your guns away. You'll just have to hand them over. Simple as that. Biddy Mick, December 2019, knew a lot who had bad flu. Think that was it.
And that's one example.
Aye.
He's a legend.
That's been a crazy year.
If there ever was like a win of like a good team.
Laurie Gale won't live in socialism. Well, maybe you just have to adapt, Laurie. It's kind of getting that way over here, and we're still surviving. We've not got guns. It kind of happened to us. It happened to us back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. There was a big school shooting in Scotland, Dunblane, the Dunblane massacre. And funnily enough, Andy Murray, the tennis player, the famous tennis player, Scottish, he was a kid in one of the classrooms when the massacre happened. And there was a big, like, everybody had to hand over their guns in Scotland. So that was it. That was the end of guns in Scotland. And there just began a knife culture in Scotland. Like, there's a whole generation of guys with like Mars bars, scars in their faces in Glasgow, like walking around, like you see these guys with scars everywhere. It's just like a whole gang knife culture. So Sue Evans says, that's nonsense. It has a chip in it. Mr. Gates' job. Emma Coombs, I read of someone's post about vaccines on chat on a post. You need to watch stuff like that as well, though, because again, like spreading the AIDS is in the vaccines. That's weird. That's a weird one. That might make you look stupid, and people might rush out to get the vaccine. Going, well, look at what people are saying about it. I'm going to get it because that's ridiculous. But if you come up with something plausible, like it could make you infertile, well, that's more realistic. People might say, "Whoa, wait a minute!" But saying that people are putting AIDS in it, it's a bit far fetched. I don't know. At least the government have kind of admitted that there could be long-term effects for having children. Knife culture goes back to the 20s in Glasgow, Jed. I suppose it goes back forever. Knives, swords. Hey Barbie, how you doing? Nice to see you. You'll be happy to see Trump's going out the door, won't you? No, I'm only kidding. But to me, it doesn't really matter if Trump had another 4 years or Biden's got a. Doesn't matter. It's America are on a downward spiral either way. Jed, Americans will not give up guns. Won't happen, honey. Well, you never know. There might be some kind of scenario that they'll create that you'll guilt trip you into handing your guns over, like the kids shot over in Scotland. These kids, I suppose they've already tried the handy sook stuff in America, but they'll probably throw in a few more handy sooks revved up, and that might make the public opinion sway. And then they might force, they might have people coming around to your door, kicking your doors in for you. There'll be an amnesty maybe. So validation boy saying the vax will alter RNA, so say bye-bye to anyone having Adamic white children anymore. Well, I've had my kids, so I've done what I've had today. Like the salmon going up the river, I've been dying there. Moving targets are my speciality. Trained at a young age, expert knife handler as well. Want to get a bow? Haven't used one in 25 years. Vlad sounds like he's turning into Rambo. I can just imagine like Laurie standing there with fucking A25 all covered in bullets, and Vlad with his bow around his head and his crossbow and his fucking, oh God's sake, guys. What have they done to you? What have they done to you guys? The media, the politicians, they've turned the citizens crazy. They've turned them crazy. No offence against you guys, but look what they're doing to you. So Chris is here. He's saying the worst would be another thalidomide. I know, that's a good example of how the government really messed up. Like this thalidomide drug that was given to women. I think it was for sickness, like morning sickness tablet. I think it was a morning sickness tablet. It could be, and that gave the bairns birth defects. All the kids had birth defects because of thalidomide. And I wonder what company was thalidomide. I wonder if it was Pfizer or one of these vaccine companies. It'd be good to know what company sold that thalidomide. It's probably one of these big ones that are doing the vaccines right now. So Biddy's saying, I think that's the plan, VB. They want to alter DNA being hunted. Validation boy says the mark of the beast is about the beast of the field. Non-whites are beasts. Dave Little says there'll be a big war, MAGA versus Antifa, then all guns will be banned. Public outcry, job done. So anyone in the chat think that the Capitol Hill stuff was just provocateurs trying to create a civil war? Like, let's throw in a bunch of crazy patriots, get a few people shot, and let's see if the public run into the streets with their machine guns, or will the public just sit at home. And it looks like the public are just going to sit back. So I'm saying it's not enough. It was never enough. Even when I seen the protests outside the Capitol building, I thought there's not enough people there. Like, there should be millions of people on the streets. If Americans really bothered about what's going on right now with Trump, Biden, there should be millions of people on the street. They should be showing it with their feet. But there's not. There's not millions of people on the street. There should have been that many Americans and patriots that when they stormed the Capitol building, no one could have got shot because there's that many people who just take over the building. The police and the security should have been just helpless to the wave of patriots and Americans taking back the country. But there wasn't. It was only just a couple. To me, it looked like a couple of hundred people around the building. It didn't even look that. You just seen all these flags, and it wasn't very impressive, I've got to say. Special ops. Barbara says, yes, Shed, I agree that Biddy Mixes didn't that happen in China, and then guns had to be handed in. Well, it happened in Scotland as well, yep. They'll create some kind of false flag, and then the guns will have to go. Millions of people in the streets with pitchforks. There was over 500,000 there. It didn't look like 500,000, I've got to say, from where I was watching different radio stations. I think it was NBC and Global News. And I watched quite a few, and it didn't look that impressive, to be honest. They've maybe blown up the numbers because it didn't look like 500,000. That Capitol Hill would have been surrounded if it was real. I was proud of them, especially the ones that stormed the Capitol. But Laurie, how do you not know that these people that stormed the Capitol are just provocateurs? They're not working on either side. I mean, they're just trying to create shit. They want bloodshed on both sides, really, I think. They want bloodshed on both sides so they can start rolling out the military and get a totalitarian system in. It's like, right, guys, well, if you can't agree, if you can't agree on that side, you can't agree on that side, we're going to give you our fucking rules, and you're going to abide by them. Now they want to shut down any platform, like Parler, suppression of speech. What's Parler? I've never really heard of Parler. And I've always been one of these guys that thinks that we're kind of privileged to use YouTube and stuff like that. Again, this is free. So it's when people say they're shutting down the channels and it's shutting down freedom of speech, you've still got your freedom of speech. You can still go outside and exercise your freedom of speech. Shutting down a YouTube channel isn't exactly stopping your freedom of speech. It is like kicking you out a website, but you don't own the website. So I know it feels like they're stopping freedom of speech, but you just need to start your own websites, guys. We all need to start our own websites and communicate through our own networks. Right, VB's heading out for a dinner date. Much love, guys. Take care, VB, and I hope you enjoy your dinner and your date as well. Have a great date, says Barbara. Have a nice time. Parler's like Twitter, Jed, but they don't censor. That's what they always start out like. Look at Vlad with his, was it BitChute? They get so many people and then they have to start regulating it. David Little says, Scottish folk have ginger bottles to fight with. Elites banned real iron brew. You still get the iron brew in glass bottles, though. Well, I think you do. But this is crazy, man. And that Jeff C guy dying. Anyone see that? Jeff C is dead. Apparently, like some brain aneurysm or something. I don't think there's been an obituary for the guy, but I remember hearing the guy. He was quite funny, but he's pretty divisive as well. A snowman, and I think he said he was going to curb stomp JLB. I think JLB mentioned that in a video. and now they're taking the servers away. Amazon is pulling the servers now tonight at midnight. Amazon's pulling the servers for what? I'd accept that if they didn't shut down apps like Parler for just hosting people the big tech and politicians don't like. Except regulators, the beginning and the end of this country. Billy the Kid can sympathise. I don't know, guys. It might be the, I don't know, starting a new system. Who says the system we've been living in the past 10, 20 years has been any good? I don't know. Barbara McGill, Jeff C. The gay guy. Now he was a sort of Canadian truther. He hung around with the other guy. What was his name? PK Truth. I've never even heard of Parler, Laurie Gale. I've never even heard of Parler. Yep, but it seems like there's a lot of angry Americans in tonight, and that's understandable, I've got to say, because if you're a Trump fan or Trump supporter, like, this is the end of the Trump era. It definitely is. There's going to need to be something major happen for Trump to still be president. There was stuff about him sleeping with Kanye West. Who was this? Jeff C. Oof. No, Biddy, you must be thinking of a different person. You must be thinking of a different person. Jeff C was like the Canadian guy. He was, like I said, he was a truther. He debunked quite a lot of stuff. But the flat Earth wasn't his thing. A lot of people kind of dropped off from Jeff C when he started saying that the flat earthers was a psyop. And when he started going on about that Malaysian flight, saying it was real, and a lot of people kind of dropped off because of that. Please tell me he is not dead. Oh, he's dead. Well, he's at Barbie. He's apparently dead. Like I said, there's still murmurs in the internet that he could have faked his death, because no one's seen an obituary. And the woman that put it, I can't remember her channel name. Aye, Barbara. There's lots of people, YouTubers out like crying on the internet. You're thinking of someone else, Biddy Mick. I don't think he was a gay guy. I think he liked his women. Right, who else? Who else is here? The Validation Boys video, his last video, was well scripted. I've got to say, he put a lot of time into that. But it's just showing you what the mindset's turning like with certain people. Certain people are looking towards other things now for hope, faith, because they can't trust in the system around them. So they're just hoping something else. And I think the Bible is also the wrong place to look. Barbara McGill, the Supreme Lord Commander, he called himself. Vlad's asking, is Jeff C and Jeff Cash the same? No, he was called, I think it was Jeff Censored. I think that's what the C was for, Jeff Censored. That was his YouTube channel, Jeff Censored. So if you search Jeff Censored, you'll find Jeff C. He's been around for, well, like I said, when I started kicking about, it was probably when I started getting into before the flat earth. It was probably just before the flat earth stuff started really kicking off. I was watching Jeff C. It was probably at the same time when I was watching Alex Jones and fucking a few other goons. I was watching Jeff C. Because Jeff C he was on a roll for a while. And I think his ego kind of started getting the better of him. Laurie's saying, my state gave me a concealed carry permit. What good will it do when China Biden takes over? When China Biden takes over, if no one else fights this, when you give half the population no voice to air their grievances, then what else can they do but revolt? Well, maybe that's what they're trying to do to you, Laurie. They're trying to push you into this corner. They're trying to push you into this corner so you snap back. They took the voice away from 80 million people. And that's the thing. Even if Trump legitimately won, just say you won by 51% and the other side's 49%, that's still not fair. That's still not a democratic society. Even if Trump won 51% of the votes and Biden got 49%, that's not democracy. Democracy is not 50-50. And this is the big fraud that the Western powers have put over our eyes when it comes to voting. Like back in the day, you had to get a majority. You couldn't have 49, 51. You couldn't even have 60-40. You had to have a little bit more than that. Democracy it's not what you think it is nowadays. So Laurie, even if Trump won by 51%, you're still not living in a democracy. You're still not living in a fair society. You've still got half the population not happy with the system in place. So either way, it didn't matter who won, Trump or Biden. You're going to have half a population that were going to be really fucked off with the results. Either way, Biden, Trump, half the population were going to be pissed off. And that, to me, isn't a fair society. That is a divided society. And that's not a society that can progress. How can you progress when half of your society resents the other half? It's never going to work. It's never going to work. And this is set up. It's set up to fail. It's a set up to fail. And it's set up to fail for some kind of restart. Some kind of restart, because American debt is just like a stop clock right now. The American debt is like, it's like you're never going to get it back. You're never going to get it. There has to be some kind of big reset. How you doing, To Be Determined? Nice to see you, buddy. Marin Chaps, nice one. Nice to see you, bud. To Be Determined. Edinburgh Lad, why did you ignore my email about dragon symbolism the other day? You know, Jed, I put a lot of thought and effort into that. You could show a little respect. How about a thank you? Sheer ignorance. Well, thank you. Since you're here now, Edinburgh Lad, thank you. Damn, I give him money on Patreon for a while now. Well, that's another thing that a lot of people are saying, that Jeff C should really have shut his Patreon down, or apparently it's still open and people are still putting money in. So I don't know, like Vlad's edge of reality. My comments are getting blocked. Biddy Mick, divide and conquer. I'm looking on the StreamYard chat, Vlad. I'm not looking on the YouTube version. I can't see the YouTube. Divide and conquer. So Laurie Gale's saying she doesn't want to live under a society that says amen and awam, whatever that means. But like I said, guys, it's not a fair society when it's 50-50. They manage somehow, the powers that be manage to reel out these candidates, these people. They're so divided. They're so on one side or the other side, and there's never a guy that's in the middle that seems to tick everybody's boxes. Hey, I like a wee bit of this, I like a wee bit of that. We'll need to stop the wars in the Middle East there, but we'll continue with our partnership with China or whatever. Like, nobody seems to tick. Like, it seems to be deliberate that it seems so divisive. It just seems like it'll never work. Society will always be divided when there's a two-party system there. Something has to happen there. This is fake. This democracy, two parties. It's the same in Britain with Labour and Conservative. They've handed us two-party systems, and we have to accept it as democracy. And half these people that roll in as our leaders aren't even voted in. Like Theresa May, she just rolled in because Cameron stepped down, and she was the head of the Conservatives, so she just walked in, and we had her as Prime Minister for like fucking 3 years or something. Theresa May, no one voted her. Scotland, we've got Nicola Sturgeon, who just walked in. Like Alex Salmond stepped down as the leader of the SNP party, who won the election in Scotland. but she stood in his place, and now she stood there for like 5 years or something. It's like 5 years. People are forgetting how long these people are actually sitting there. No one voted them in. Nobody voted these people in. Theresa May and Sturgeon and most of these other people, like Nick Clegg, when they done that little thing where they added the Liberal Democrats onto the Conservatives just to beat Labour. Nobody voted for Nick Clegg or any of those twats, and they seem to get into the government. So to be determined says, hey Jed, did you see that police officers in the UK are profiting from the tickets being imposed on citizens who are not out on essential business? Tickets? I've not heard about the tickets. I'll need to look into that more to be determined. Laura Gale, Jed, our Congress said a prayer and ended it by saying amen, and a woman. A woman? Can you believe that? That's weird. A woman. A woman. Amen says, let it be so. Let it be a woman. Let it be so, a woman. Can we outrun politics? Dave Little. In a sheep's head, the dog is the boss. They don't even know what a farmer is. Emma Coombs says, this is the article I read, why an Australian COVID-19 vaccine caused false positive HIV test by Rachel Retner. And Emma Coombs, cheers for all your emails as well. Edinburgh Lad, thanks for your emails. That's what I'm saying. Edinburgh Lad, I get emails not just for you. I get emails for lots of people. And it's hard to catch up with it all. I think you sent me that yesterday. Was it yesterday you sent me that email, Edinburgh Lad? And I have read it. It's interesting. A lot of it I already know, to be honest with you. That's why I wasn't that urgent to get back to you, because a lot of it that you're kind of preaching to the choir here. So I do get a lot of emails for a lot of people about that research. And keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. I love it. Maybe I'll not get back to all of them. Didn't take offence to it. But I do read it all. Right. A snowman says, did Joanna Cherry say something about Scotland taking the Republic of Ireland route to independence? I heard something recently, but I'm not sure if she said it a while ago and the story was being recycled. I don't know why they're even talking about independence during Brexit and COVID and all this other shit that's happening. I think we need to sort the country out as a whole first. Then we can split it up into little pieces. It's Barbie saying, hey Vlad, waiting for snow, Barbara. We've had plenty of snow here, but it's just like I said, like one night can melt it all. Like one night it's -5, next night it's maybe 0, 1, 2 degrees. And the sun will come up and melt it all. Right, guys, I'm going to have a little break. I'm doing this on my iPad. It's a wee bit different from what I usually do. I might even put the link out there if any of you want to express your disgust in anything that I've said or anything that you've heard. I'll put John LeBon on for now. Such a nice guy. Our John.
He loves the birds. Dave J. Great guy. Awesome guy. Anyway, also. Just give me a second, guys. I want to go and get on my last beer, guys. I can't have any more. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, look at the scores in the cricket. Just find out. Rain delay. That'd be right. So, guys, let's find a stream that you guys can watch while I'm talking my normal sense. Oh, you're still watching that? That's the one. I'll be back in 1 minute. Just give me 1 second.
you go? Where'd you go, John? They're all standing on
Alright,
Capitol
so let's
Hill.
go and check out the live stream chat. Who we got here?
See you later, Snowman.
Who we got in the live stream chat? We're down to 50 live. We
We're
were
back
at
to
110 at one point, guys.
Back to normal, man. Well, so-called
Back to
normal.
110. That's this channel's best. By the way, guys, if you're new here, check out the backup channel and the free mailing list. Both links in the info box below. Go and check it out.
Check it out. Check GLB out, man. GLB.com.
Strange name for a band, says
Get your membership now.
that their votes don't count.
Keep the beers flowing.
Maybe I'll look into that.
Keep GLB's beers flowing, guys.
Mike G says JFK was a dummy. Yeah, well, I learned that from Dave J. Dave J showed that to me. Great work. At first, I thought it was crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
Well, maybe the Antifa
But if you look at the evidence, as soon as it becomes clear,
lot are going to come and drag you out your houses. I don't know what's going to happen to you guys. Maybe this was all a ploy to root out the
Duncan
Patriots.
Fox says, my biggest question to you would be, how do you think we got here? I think you're critical of, don't believe all the common views on this. What do you think? That's a good question, man. No, I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Like, and you'll see this because now you have access to all the content on the site. Lately, I've been delving into this idea that this is
Look
all
it up
like
on YouTube.
a video game. And
Look what
I know
up on
it sounds
YouTube.
crazy, but
It's only
ancient
good.
history is all fake. Ancient China, ancient Greece, ancient Rome, the ancient Mayans. It's all fake, man. That's not hard to prove. Like, you actually just check, which no one's checking anything. But if you do check, it all goes back a couple hundred years. Like the primary sources will go back a couple of years, right?
So GLB thinks
So we
everything's
have no history, no real
only a couple
history.
of hundred years old.
And then when you study the people around us, the so-called humans around us, they just do what their programs, the TV programs them to, oh, you shouldn't wear a mask. Okay. No, you should wear a mask. Oh, okay. You should get angry if people don't wear a mask. Oh, okay. You get vaccinated, you get it. Like, they just do whatever they're told. And so you start to realize they're just like bots, like non-player characters in a video game. And of course, if you play Grand Theft Auto, you know, it's you and all these bots. Or even in many mass multiplayer online role-playing games, there might be you and dozens of other real people. But there's all these fake characters as well, right? You need them to populate the world.
Barbie, they're coming for you in a pickup
Most
with their
of
black
you-
balaclavas on.
That's all they are.
Antifa jackets.
They're
coming to get you.
They won't think. They're just bots. So, like, I'm talking almost literally bots too.
They'll get rid of Biden as well.
So what is this?
Antifa will get rid of
At
Biden
the
too.
moment,
Biden's still not
my
left
guess
enough for
is
Antifa.
you can find
This
out
is when Kamala
in
comes
my
in.
most recent article.
Kamala
I think 2,500 words.
Camel Toe.
Takes about 10 minutes to read, I would guess. At johnthebond.com, and I entitled
Kamala Camel Toe.
Next Level. So I go into detail about what I think is really going on. So go and check that out. Next Level. It's available to
Shout out to Andrade for being the first subscriber on this channel.
And go to the main page. But the basis of it is, I just don't believe
Is that you selling yourself,
that
lad?
a
You're
giant
back.
spin ball
Back on YouTube.
going around the sun. And
Back with your
evolves
tail
from
between your
bacteria.
legs.
Like, I don't believe that crap. And like in my country, I'm from Australia, most educated people do believe that. And it's just a religious cult indoctrination. That's all it is. It's not science. It's just a new religion, a new lot of shit, which I used to believe, by the way. But we're not evolved bacterial people. Like I used to fully believe that, but now I can see that's ridiculous. And now I think you go check that place. I think this place might be not so dissimilar.
Send
to-
Camel Toe my way.
Check it out. Barbie, you can talk about this.
She'd probably rip your head off, Barbie. Have you seen the fucking neck on her? It's like that. Fucking beast. Ugh. That's probably a dude. Kamala's probably a dude, Barbie.
There's a guy on my Discord.
You're too feminine. She'd rip your head clean off you.
He's huge on West.
Or swipe.
I kept saying, "Oh, go on, watch it."
Big fucking spade she's got. Fucking roof.
Holy shit.
Big shovels the hands she's got. Rip your head clean off.
Talk about treated plain sight. Goodness gracious me. So, Eccentric Views, who is an awesome guy from Melbourne.
Hair tail tie, Jed. I have
Amazing guy.
no tall.
Good, thanks, Sam.
I have no tall tail.
Very well. Well, Eccentric Views, man. Use that money inside for JohnTheBond.com.
I'm just winding you up, man. I'm just winding you up. Looks like Antifa there. Looks a bit like Antifa up there.
Dave J says good night. Good night to you, Dave J. Duncan Fox says thanks for the detailed answers. I appreciate it. Looking forward to getting to know you and your moves, man. The next 12 months could be the craziest 12 months of your life. Easily. I cannot promise you or guarantee.
You done it the wrong way, man. You done it the wrong way.
Everything you're going to see and also
See,
you're going to talk to like, because the chances of that are low. It's a very strange group.
so there's still plenty of space there. See, between the cars and all that shit. That should be packed out. If there was 500,000 people, there shouldn't be any space there. Well, it's socially distant or fucking something. Where was it? Where was the other 490,000?
This is more trivia. You guys ready for the trivia? Maybe think of a question.
There wasn't 500,000 there. No way was there 500,000.
Why don't we go to a JLB video? Why not?
That's probably fake stats, fake numbers.
Why don't we go to... Where's my studio?
Send us a link, Smokey Joe. I don't know, Barbie. It's starting to get a bit late here. It's 10 to 1. I don't know. Because I'll end up sitting for hours speaking to you guys. You care what I'm like?
This coronavirus is in fact a hoax.
Am I willing to sit for a couple of extra hours?
They do that. So that's not most popular. What's my next most popular?
Did you get that drone, Barbie, by the way?
Okay. This is topical. This fits in. Hold on.
Right, I'll put the link in. Right, I'll put the link in. You can tell me. Let me get my headphones on. I'll put the link in the chat. $500,000, I saw them.
1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce in a store, in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who runs brings out the carts on a forklift. What happened?
What? The fuck was that? The fuck was that? Gibberish.
Nope, no weapons over there.
So Vlad's saying, until there's piles of bodies of the enemy, it doesn't mean fuck all. Archaeologists will dig Jed's fence up in 5,000 years and say, alien tech built this. Possibly.
There was constant discussion about him hiding out in caves, and I think many times the American people have a perception that it's a little hole dug out of the side of the mountain. Oh no, this is it. This is a fortress, a complex, multi-tiered bedrooms and offices on the top.
This is why I like JLB, because he does come up with some good shit, man. I do like JLB stuff. And you just have to sift through, take what you like and disregard what you didn't like. JLB's still got good stuff out there compared to a lot of people.
It's a very sophisticated operation. Oh, you bet. And this is one of those.
M. Coon saying the whole world's gone crazy.
And it's one of the few days
You love us. I do love you guys, but I love my own life as well.
Your trivia question is,
It's Nancy Pelosi, man. Fuck it. What a wretched fucking witch.
Which
It's better seeing him with that mask on, I've got to say, this Pelosi.
and which flight went into Shanksville?
Right, so I'm going to throw the link in chat. And
Shanksville. This is JLB trivia. Who is going to win this one? In the live
GLB trivia.
Which flight went to Pentagon, then Shanksville? Let's see who's the new trivia champion.
Right, I wonder what it's going to be like living under Biden. Fuck was that? See, I'll end up waking up my kid.
Mike G says 9311. Remember, Pentagon, then
So
Shanksville.
it ends up happening when I have a live stream. I end up waking up my kids. It's my son's birthday tomorrow as well, so.
Top Notch Energy says 7793. Bang.
You'd pump Nancy Jet.
Top Notch Energy.
God, it would snap her in half.
Top Notch
She's about
Energy
90-year-old.
sold for 1 month membership. Not 1 month.
Pump her.
Till the end of this month, so it's about 3 weeks.
I'm listening. I'm not crazy yet.
You just want yourself a 3-week membership on .com. So send me an email, put in the title line.
So you have to send GLB emails for his quizzes. And you can get a month off your first membership in GLB if you get this question right. Hook me up.
But hold on, Top Notch Energies, he's the guy who was on fakeologist.com.
Ecologist.
June, July. Really cool guy.
He's 12 now. 12. 12-year-old to my boy.
Now, Top Notch Energies, I'm going to put your TD in. I will come through with the free one.
Right.
However, can you please let me know the last
I'll maybe come on for 30 minutes.
Did you or did you not say on fakeologist.com that you thought I'll hook you up. I promise you for the rest of January. But did you comment on
You need to hear this first, actually. He's roasting some guy saying that he's got to give him a discount, but he's sure he said it was too expensive.
Who else came close to the best answer? We had...
It's fucking some character, GLB. What do you say?
Oh, Zim Varlas was like this close, man. Just got beaten by TV. Who else was here? Yes says formal to that from England playing JLB. We always special work. Thank you. Yes. Listen, there's only one guy who I know who is smarter than me with not only the truth but marketing it, and that is IPS. He's a super smart guy.
IPS.
Probably
IPS. Oh my god.
From 2020 was not networking with him enough.
Oh, I need to turn him down. He's talking about IPS. How great IPS is. Oh my god. You've had too many beers, JLB. Go to bed. He's a great guy. He's a fantastic guy. He's a fantastic guy. Now let's see if my mic, audio, iPad, no. Hello. I'm not sure if my mic's coming through. There's no banned guests. Right, who? See. Right, if there's anybody out there that wants to express their feelings on the new Biden system. Is your guns next? Who knows? Possibly. But like I said, I'll need to keep my voice down a wee bit. A wee bit. Who's going to be first? Who's going to be first? Is it Vlad? Vlad is a Barbie. Vlad, Barbie. Barbie, Vlad. Laurie. Right, you need to show you, like, if you're going to come on, you need to show me your machine guns, by the way, guys. I'm not joking. Like, I want to see machine guns, handguns, crossbows, machetes, grenades, stun guns. I want to see it all. Right, Laurie's the first one. Right, Laurie better have her machine gun. Yeah, let's see. Hello, Laurie.
Hey, Jed, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here.
Happy birthday to your son, first of all.
Aye, 12 years already, eh? Jesus, time just
Amazing.
flies away. It's crazy
Amazing.
how fast time goes.
I'll tell you.
So
He,
how is it? How you been crying over the past week or?
I have been. I can't say I did not cry. I can't say I did not cry. Absolutely. And thanks for trying to egg us on over here. I heard what you were saying.
We're fucked already, so it doesn't matter. You
know,
were
Jed,
the last bastion. You
yeah,
were the last bastion of freedom, and it's gone now. So
I don't know your history that much, but I didn't know it was as recent as you said. Like, it's only been since the 80s that they did that? That they took your guns as recently as the 80s?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I can't hardly believe that. I'm really shocked. That really floored me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God.
We were still kind of allowed. They were still controlled in a way, like guns, but they were a lot relaxed compared to what they are now. Like nowadays, if you get caught with a gun, you're getting instant jail for at least 10 years. Like if you're not got registered or anything like that. But you can have guns over here for sport, as long as it's registered with the police. But it has to be for sport, for like shotguns, for like pheasants.
Okay.
Well, a shotgun will do the trick. I'll tell you that much, brother.
That's all you need, eh?
So
oh my
you can't
God!
have it. Yeah.
No, and this is the same thing with Australia. So they're taking these countries who have the will to fight, and they're bringing them down to fucking a step's pace. And it is coming to America, Lori. Trust me, it's happening.
I don't know, Barbie. I don't know about the gun thing. I don't think that could happen in 4 years.
It will happen. It can happen.
I don't think it can happen in 4 years. There's too many people.
Years.
Yeah. Not in 4 years. That's not going to happen.
But when you see Europe fall,
yeah, I know.
Don't think that America is so great.
No, I know, but I think we have more guns than anybody ever had.
Of course we do, but
they're not going to take that away. That's not going to happen. You know what that would be like? You know what
yes,
that would be
I do.
Like? Yeah.
It would be murder. Man, I got a Glock myself.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple Glocks. It's like bang, bang, motherfucker. But still, what I know from history is when you look at European people, like Scottish people and Viking people and all these people who have fought.
Now they're cucks. Now they're all cucks.
Yeah, and now they're all cucks. It's like, what happened?
Yeah, what happened, Jed? How did that happen?
Jed explains to you how it happened.
We just got fed fairy tales. We got fed heroes and fairy tales, and we seem to accept that rather than fighting for anything else. It's like
you have a population of 5 million. You said.
Yep.
We have 330 million. That's a really big difference.
Yep.
That's a really big difference. And I hate to tell you, there are not that many people on the left or Democrats. There are not as many as they want us to think. There are more of us than there are of them.
I know, but there's
There are.
330 Americans, but it's all broken into states, and they're controlling each state. And Trump's kind of proven to America. I didn't even know that the mayors had so much power. Like Trump was saying, "Oh, I can't go into that state to get the police
Right.
to do this because of that governor
Yeah, but
or
that's
that
all
mayor."
bullshit.
Well, it kind of shows you that all these little states work independently.
They do.
So,
They do. Yeah, and there's a lot
However,
more Republican states than there are Democratic states.
yeah, but they're
A
not
lot
supposed to
more.
work that way. If a
There's a lot
state
more.
if a state mandates you to wear a mask,
That's
a
not a
state
law.
it's
not
not a law
Nope.
because I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill,
It's
and I'm
yeah.
waiting here on Capitol Hill.
It's a mandate, but it's not a woman date.
You know what I'm saying? So what we are seeing and what I think we will continue to see is a breakdown of the Constitution.
Oh, that's done. Yeah.
the
Nice.
thing
It's
is,
not done, but it's
how could you
coming.
rule out? How could you rule out the Americans getting their guns taken off them when all this shit's happened already? Stuff that you would have never believed happened, like people walking around with masks, driving about cars with masks on. Like
Because it doesn't happen
people are so
everywhere.
compliant. People are so compliant that it just shows you
Yeah.
Not everybody, Jed. Not every. I haven't worn one. I shop. I
Yes,
haven't worn
but
one.
compliance.
90% of the people
Yeah,
wear
I
them.
know. I see it. It's terrible.
Compliance is as far as a weapon. As far as like, I tell my son when he drives his car, you're driving a death machine, okay? So when we feed on people for sympathy and empathy and fucking guilt, we are gonna suck you dry.
I'm not complying with any of that bullshit. I
Yeah,
don't wear a
maybe you
mask.
won't
I don't.
because you're an old bitch like me, okay?
I don't do it. I don't do it. I really don't. I get hassled, but I don't do it.
But my son is one of those guys. He's a young man. He's going to turn 21 soon. And he doesn't understand the idea of people being emotional vampires.
Oh, please. Ugh.
He does not comprehend that because he is a beautiful human being. He thinks he's landed fresh in this world. And you haven't.
Jen,
And
what is it? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Lori. By the way, how are you doing, girlfriend?
I'm not doing good this week. I really am not doing very well.
I haven't seen you
I'm
in
losing sleep. I'm having nightmares. It's really
Why? I haven't seen you in months, man.
because of the Biden shit.
Well, you can't control Biden.
I know, but the Democrats have fucking everything now. House, Senate. It's like,
It's
what are we
all
gonna
the
do?
same.
What are we
Lori,
gonna do?
Lori, it's all the same, sweetheart.
Nah, this is really, really, really bad.
No, it's all the same, baby.
This is
They're
really bad.
they're all coming from the crossroads and branching out and trying to trick you.
Trump was the only defense we had against
Nice.
them. And now,
Trump,
if he's going to go away, Biden's already saying it's a long, dark winter. He's going to do the mask mandate. He's going to do this. It's going to raise the taxes. It's like we have, oh my God, it's hopeless.
Lori, they are all a part of the same fucking problem, babe.
Oh, it's so bad right now. I can't even sleep at night.
No,
I'm
you don't lose
devastated.
sleep.
I'm devastated.
Don't be devastated.
I am.
Understand the problem or fuck it, man. I haven't smoked in 7 days.
I would never give up anything right now.
Well
I
done,
will
Barbie.
smoke more. I will drink more. I will do it.
Oh man, do you guys know how much I love cigarettes?
I can't imagine giving up anything right now.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine giving up anything right now. It's like
I
I feel like
just
this is the end of the
want
world.
a cigarette. But here's the thing: you're talking about the same people, Lori. The left and the right are saying, yes, they are.
No.
The only difference is what they offer you to believe that they think. So In other words, the ethics of your voting are what matters, but the people you're voting for don't matter, Lori.
They fixed the votes now. We can't even vote our way out of this.
It doesn't matter, Lori.
We can't even vote our way out.
I'm not being offensive. I'm saying the
No.
truth.
I know, but we can't even vote out. They're saying, "Oh, well, in 2
Nice.
years we can do the primaries." They did these machines. They stole the elections. We can't fix this no matter what we do.
No, you
So what are we
cannot.
supposed to do?
You can't do shit,
Nope.
sweets,
Nope.
because
But
you are.
Trump was setting this up, though. Trump was saying before even the elections kicked off that if he lost, it was because they fiddled the votes. So already
They
before it
did.
even happened,
No,
I know, but
Lori.
They did.
he was setting it up.
Lori, they are telling you exactly what they want you to hear and think and feel.
I
You
don't
are.
understand what you mean. I really don't. Who
You
is they?
don't
Who's they?
understand.
Who's they?
I'm not sure who they is.
So that's a conspiracy theory. When you say they, that you sound like one of them Q people. They're
No,
gonna they.
I'm not a Q person.
Well, I'm not either. So where is they? Who is they? I'm so
I
tired
don't
about
know,
hearing.
Lori.
I don't want to hear about they.
Okay, I'm a diehard Republican also. Okay? Calm down. Take a breath.
I know it's tough.
Take a breath. However, what I see in the world in the last 15 years is this proposal for everyone to think that the left and the right are arguing, they're fighting, and you must change it by your vote. God damn it.
Okay.
Okay, here's what I'm telling you. Biden and all these fuckers are in bed together.
I could believe that. I can believe
Okay,
that.
Lori, do you like baseball?
Nope.
Okay, do you like football?
Nope.
Tell me a sport you like and let me give you a.
You're trying to do an analogy, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm going to give you the baseball analogy.
Okay.
Okay? We have a sucky baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
Catcher sucks, pitcher sucks, third and first base suck.
It's like the Republican team, huh?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you fix that?
Get new players?
You fix it by getting a whole new team.
Uh-huh.
You will never see that happen in American politics, Lori.
I know. Did you see what the Republicans did this year?
Of course I've seen it.
Did you see them? What they did, they have no spine. They have no spine. They have no backbone. They just caved.
I mean, I've seen my mom go to pieces, right?
Right. They were the only hope we had.
And that's what you want to believe. That they are the only hope you have.
So what am I supposed to do? Sit here and pray for Jesus?
No.
Because if that was going to happen, it would have already happened.
Now you're sitting back and waiting for someone to cure the problem.
Well, if it isn't the American people, who's going to cure the problem?
You are going to cure the problem, Lori.
Me? When I go
Yes.
out and march down the street.
Now, I am not saying that. I'm saying, like I told my 90-year-old mom, every person that you tell the truth to, Mom, is one step closer to a better place.
I don't know.
Yes, you know. Stop
I don't know.
saying, Lori,
I don't know what the answer is. I can't see the way out of this. I don't want to lose the country.
well, you might lose the country,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
But what is a country without its people?
I was going to say that. I was going to say when you say losing the country, Laurie, what are you physically losing, or is it just a mental thing that you're losing?
I like, as far as losing the country, it's the freedom of the people. If you follow, I know you follow our politics more than we follow yours. So I'm really surprised you understand what's going on with the left and the right. When you have a Congress full of people that pray to monotheistic gods and end a prayer with amen, they actually said amen and a woman. They're insane. We have insane people running this country. And now we have all insane people. Like they're giving money to these countries. Pakistan, they gave millions of dollars to Pakistan for gender studies. We're giving money all over the world, and they're not taking care of the American people. As far as
Lori,
losing the country, I want to be able to have conservatives in this country have a voice. We can't even have a voice anymore. They're shutting down all our platforms. They're shutting down anything that doesn't go along with the left, the Democrats, the socialism. If you don't belong with the left and the way they feel, they're going to shut you down, and there's going to be no freedom left. The stuff they're teaching in the schools isn't even our American history. We're
yes,
losing this country.
Lori, that's not new shit. Listen
No,
to
it's
me.
not. It's insane. I
Listen
don't
to
want my
me.
grandkids to grow up with this
No,
nonsense.
but they are growing up with it. Go back to the hippie movement and tell me that that was a natural movement.
I don't know. That was in the 70s.
You were alive then, sweets.
I was young. I was like 10.
Okay,
Not even.
investigate it. So we're moving into a new era where we are being artificially fed a whole lot of shit, dude. Okay? You can't talk about the left and right. All you can talk about is what is right. What
You mean
is
what it was correct? Yeah.
what is ethical?
Uh-huh.
Where do you land?
Well, do you
What
think the Democrats have anything ethical going on right now?
you know my answer to that.
Oh, and the
Okay?
Democrats run everything now. They took over our entire
Yes.
country.
Nah, the Democrats are the same dudes as the Republicans.
Probably because the Republicans ain't doing a goddamn thing. They're not doing a goddamn thing to help us.
I'm sorry, Lori. I have to be fair in saying, like, the last great Democrat was probably Kennedy.
Yeah, I thought that too. But you know what? They said he stole the election too. Did you hear that?
Who gives a fuck?
You're right, but he was a good one. But they said he stole the election too.
And so many people want to say, well, he was knocked off and it's not true and he's living on an island in bumfuck Egypt. No, he's not. That motherfucker is dead.
How long have the Democrats been stealing elections? Fucking forever.
Yes, because I'm not sure if it's evil. I don't know.
I feel like it's very big evil because we gotta, if you want to go esoteric on this, I feel like there's this 2020 showed it. We're in the upside down world. Whatever is good is bad, bad is good, and now it's just continuing. We can't catch a break. This is the most evil time I've ever seen.
Yeah, but you can't look at it that way because
There's nothing.
that's kind of looking at it like in the flat earth way. And you and I know the world is not flat, right?
Right.
So if we spend 3 years looking at the world, it's flat, motherfuckers, then we've wasted all that energy. I don't know the answer.
I know. I know. This is awful.
I just know that the only truth is fucking absolute honesty. America is fucked.
It is. That's why I'm so upset.
The left and the right are the same shit.
The thing is, though,
so
Laurie, do you not realize, like, the people that are going to get the guns taken off you are going to be the people that you support? These gun touting Americans walking about with American flags, and because they're going to create some kind of shooting. You never see Antifa with machine guns. You never see Antifa with as much weaponry as you see the Patriots. So they're going to.
The right has all the guns. Yeah.
They're going to like label the right as the shooters, the guns, and they're
That's
going to
why
be.
they shut down Parler. Yeah.
So what are you going to do when they start like tapping on your door, saying, right, you need to hand over these guns unless you've got some kind of license and we can regulate it for
First of all,
sport,
most of
hunting.
them aren't registered. Well, we have a lot. Most of them aren't registered, and we don't even have this address is through someone else's address. So hopefully they don't even
So
know what this address is.
What if Biden puts in a system where you have to have them registered?
Oh, we won't register them.
And only so many a household, like only so many guns per
We're
household.
so under the wire. We're under the radar right now. Like if they don't have your address and you're not registered for a while, you can stay under the radar. You don't have them registered. Our license address isn't even this house. So we
Lori,
kind of stay under the radar.
may I ask you a question?
Sure.
What is the radar?
The radar? What
And
is the radar?
what are you actually under?
Oh,
There.
I mean, trying to stay under people's notice, like that they don't notice you, they don't see
Nice.
you. Right.
Sweetie, they've noticed you since
Yeah, I bet.
1984.
Yeah.
I'm being honest, my friend. Here's the thing.
But I like to be like, I'm a little person. You know, there's a lot of people. I'm
You're
somebody. No, I'm a little person. You don't notice me. I'm nobody.
Yes, but you must be noticed
No.
if you want to see change. I'm a radical. I'm going to be honest. In my heart, I am a fucking radical, man. I am.
Not as much as me. I was
Yes,
the first
I am.
I was
You
the first
have no
person cheering those people on when they breached the Capitol. I said they should have grabbed Pelosi and they should have grabbed Schumer and they should have put a fucking rope around their neck and threw them off and hung them off the Capitol steps.
No, it's not that
That's
simple.
what needs to happen. They need to do this.
People don't
Revolution wasn't
understand.
won. Yeah.
People don't understand the word patriot.
Right.
They don't understand the word radical.
Nope.
They don't understand the word dissident.
They should have hung those people off the Capitol steps. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. They should have hung them. Hung them.
Yes. So soon we're getting to that place.
Because we don't have a voice anywhere.
Or
We're not allowed to talk.
Or we will let our children and our grandchildren go to shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few years.
No, we must gain an army, man.
We can't even vote our way out of this. That's why I was telling my husband the other night. I was crying. I was really breaking down. I'm like, we can't even vote our way out of this mess because they've taken the voting over. They've already fixed that. They control everything. They're in the Senate, the House, the presidency. What can we do? Nothing.
Nothing. You can. What is that song by Muse about uprising? You can't vote your way out of fucking bullshit because voting is a part of the bullshit. Man, I am so stoked.
I always believed that until 2016. Then that changed my mind. When Trump won, I was like, holy shit, maybe voting does matter.
Oh, it don't matter.
And now all of a sudden it doesn't matter anymore.
Lori.
I think rebelling and protesting is a bad move nowadays. I think you need to do it more on the quiet, on the sly. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You just need to accept this sort of system and then work quietly under the radar. This
it's
whole
like the IRA, Jed.
You're putting a big flag, you're putting a big target on your head when you're going out with the flags and the.
Right, but how can you do that, Jed? You're shutting down all the social platforms that people can speak on. They're shutting down.
People need to go back to CB aerials and shit like that. They do.
If you're on a social platform talking about revolt, you've lost. Look at the Irish IRA. For fucking what? Come on, guys.
Barbie, people don't realize if we did not stand up and get violent, we would still be under English rule. If we did, how many years did we say, listen to the grievances, listen to what we have to say?
If you stand up and be violent, that'll be the end of you. You need to accept what's happened and then build up. You need to build something up under the radar.
Because we have 80 million people that agree with me. So it's a matter of getting these people to say, we're not going to do this. And the only way you're not going to do that right now is civil disobedience. Like, for instance, the bars that did not close this winter when the governor said, you have to close over Christmas time. The bars in this state, there was a lot of them that we go to, did not close. And we went out every week and we supported them. And we don't wear masks. Whatever you could do that goes against their orders, you have to do. You have to be,
Not publicly.
oh,
Public
publicly, we
disobedience
did
is
that.
stupid. Okay? We're at another level maybe. I possibly am speaking out of my place right now.
Well, you're speaking from a Republican state also. You have
However,
a decent governor.
I've raised my kids. They're not minors anymore, so I can fucking truck on.
Yeah, but I got 7 grandkids I got to worry about
I
growing
got
up in this shit.
grandkids too, Lori.
I know.
However, if I don't do something, what are they going to be?
I know.
I'm not
This is
afraid.
torture.
I'm not scared anymore. I'm not. I'm so far from being scared that
Oh, I'm not scared. I'm angry. I'm not scared. I'm angry.
I'm not
I
even
don't.
angry.
I'm angry. I've been angry for a while.
It's not even anger.
So, what are the big changes that you expect, Laurie, that are coming?
I
What
expect
would you-
I can give you that right off the hop. The gasoline under Trump has been phenomenally low. It's been low. It's been very cheap. The gasoline is going to go way up right off, and that will affect me personally right away. It's going to affect the oil I pay to heat this house. It's going to affect how, I travel up and down the country. I go back and forth through these states a lot. It's going to affect how often I can travel with the gas. It's going to affect my heating oil. He's going to raise the taxes. We're retired, but people that work, they pay their federal taxes. It's going to make the taxes go up. He's going to put things on called Green New Deal. You just look at what the Biden thing is going to do. It's going to affect me personally because it's going to cost me more out of what I have to live on.
What if it doesn't? What if it all just stays the same?
It won't happen, Jed, because that's the first thing he's going to do. The gasoline's going to go through the roof. Heating oil is going to go through the roof. Under Trump, we had the lowest unemployment rate ever. We had people working. We had low taxes. We had low, our health insurance was better. He did more for this country. And all you got to do is see what Biden's coming up with. It's going to affect us. It's going to affect us fast.
Now, Lori, what you're leaning on is principles.
What else are you going to lean on?
Well, it's cool. Here's what I'm going to tell you. It's okay to lean on principles. And so what you're saying to everyone is Republicans have these principles, Democrats have these principles. However, these motherfuckers come from the same place.
I see what you're saying, yeah. Politicians, yeah.
And it's okay to lean on your laurels. Yes?
But I don't want my grandkids growing up in school systems with people teaching this shit about the fake history of America, and they want to put out this stuff about prejudice and all this different civil stuff. You understand what I'm talking about. They rewrite history, and they try to make up all this crap, and they're changing our history, and it's just a mess.
Do you think revisionism, good or negative, came from just Democrats?
I don't know, but it seems like it. It seems like it right now.
No, it didn't.
Well, how come they're the ones pushing it? Who's pulling down the statues? Republicans?
Dude, Black Lives Matter. Don't get me started. I'm going to say ugly shit, okay?
Sorry. So what about when Obama was in power? Like, nothing really changed when there was meant to be big changes. There was meant to be, for the black people, if anything, it was even worse for black people. And how do you know?
Right.
How do you know when Biden comes in, he's made all these promises, they're going to take guns, they're going to raise taxes, and it might just be a lot of shit. just
We can
to
only
show,
hope, Jed. We
just to
can
show he was
only
on the
hope.
left. It might be
We
just
can
the
only
same.
hope.
It might be just
Obama was just jumping off of Clinton and the war machine and the
Bush.
weapons of mass destruction
Bush.
and all this bullshit. Bush,
And Trump
yes.
took us out of how many wars? He took us out of wars.
He didn't take us out of shit, Lori.
You don't think so?
No,
How come?
because we are human beings.
Oh, you didn't think he stopped us being in wars?
No.
Okay. I didn't see any wars under Trump, did you?
Look,
There's all these
this
covert wars happening all over the world. It's
Oh,
the
I'm
British,
sure. I'm
the
sure.
British, the Americans, like everybody, like in Africa and in the Middle East, they happen all the time.
In your country, I don't know much about other countries like the politics. In your country, there's a left and a right also. There's conservatives and progressives also.
It's more that in England, in Scotland, we've got an SNP party, and they're social nationalists. A
What does
national
that mean?
party. They're a national party. They want independence from Britain. So,
Okay.
but they're like a puppet government to Westminster.
SNP. Is that like conservative or is that progressive?
It's a nationalist party, but I would say they're more on the left.
Okay.
They're definitely on the left. They're probably the far left, to be honest.
Far left.
For a national party.
So you have people over there that are like here, like being progressive and conservative, old views as far as
our SNP government. They'll say we want freedom from England, we want independence, freedom for Scotland. Then they'll say we want all the immigrants over. We want immigrants. We want immigrants.
So,
that's left.
Like,
yeah, that's a far left. Yeah.
so
we have Biden opening up all our borders. He's going to open up all our borders and let. How do you feel about that? Like, let's just let everybody into this country and not have to be a legal citizen. They could just come in, get free everything, free insurance, free education, free everything. That's a leftist thing. You let everybody in with no borders.
That's a
That's a left thing.
Nationalism is what Trump actually ran on in 2017. However, no one saw it. They didn't see Trump being nationalist. Oh, he's such a good guy, but he was faking nationalism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he built a wall. He tried to build
His
a wall.
sucks balls.
He didn't even finish it.
The real wall is in your heart and mind. Okay?
Well, do you think these people should be coming in and getting free college, free everything?
I don't.
I don't
However,
either.
I think that nationalism is a feeling. It's a belief. It's in your heart.
Okay, but what does that have to do with people coming in and getting free college?
It has everything to do with it, Lori. Everything to do with it.
How does a feeling equal giving them free food and college?
It's not equal. Nationalism is about you being proud of being Irish or Scottish.
Or American.
Okay, yes, but American is a bit more tricky. So if you're Scottish, let me revert to Jet. If you're Scottish and you're a nationalist, then what you're saying is, I'm proud of my people and my land. So when you swing that to America, you can't fucking disseminate it.
Oh, because how many different places we're from.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So this is where we are fucked here. Okay?
I gotcha, because we're all from different places.
So then you've got people like these weird Democrats coming in with this democratic nationalism. I'm not sure.
I still don't see how we can open our borders to Mexico and let everybody just come in here when we can't even take care of our own citizens.
No.
We don't have the money for our own self.
I'm not saying you can. What I'm saying is nationalism has been misconstrued.
Oh, I get that.
Okay?
Hmm.
And I don't know how you control the world.
It's a conundrum, isn't it?
It's a bit of a weird fucking shit. However, what I know is that some people lie. Uh, how about in the 80s?
That was a good time, honey.
Nye, what about when they sent all these people from Cuba
Hmm.
to the US?
Hmm.
We had the biggest crime. Fucking, that's where Scarface, the movie, came from.
Hmm.
So this is forced, what is the word I want to use? Importation. Fuck, I'm not sure. So you force people from all amongst the world to live in this place or that place, and you tell them it's fair and it's good, and I got your back. I think this affects Europe more
Oh
than
yeah.
us now. I do.
It's interesting because, like, that's why I was asking Jed, like, is there left and right? I guess there's left and right everywhere. I mean, you got your progressives and you got your conservatives. You have people who want, and I'm not a hard right. I'm not hard right conservatives. I'm not like this Bible bashing, right, alt right person. I'm not. But when I see what the left is doing to this country, I can't stand it. And the more crazy they get, the more to the right I move. You push me more to the left, and you push and you push and you push, and I go to the right. You say take away the guns, and you say abort babies at 8 months, abort babies at 9 months, kill babies when they're born, give the illegal immigrants free college. And the more you put that left shit on me, the more I go conservative, and the more I
Yes,
say,
but
you see
you
what's happening?
yes, you are the atom bomb.
Oh, it's going to go off, and I think there's a lot of
Here
people
hear
like
what
me.
I'm saying. I realized like 3 months ago I am the atom bomb. However, I smoke too much, I drink too much. So maybe I should change all that and become relevant. Lori, you are the atom bomb.
I don't know.
Stop weighing the left and the right.
Right, I know. I just want. I've never been involved in politics till 2020, and you know why? Because I live under a Democratic governor, and he was really, really bad. You're in South Carolina. I know how South Carolina went because I've been there a lot last year. I've been down there 3, 4 times, and it was a lot better than up here in Pennsylvania under our Democratic governor who shut everything down and was still shut down. It was a
Yeah,
lot better. So you tell me not to weigh the right and the left, but I've been in South Carolina. I've been in New Jersey. I've been in Pennsylvania. And
nice.
it's different depending on what kind of person is running that state and what they
Yes,
believe in.
but
It
this
affects
goes back
everybody.
to what did that dude say about replenishing the blood at the tree and
I don't know. I just know that our governor was a total asshole last year, and South Carolina was great. So
South Carolina?
would you want to live under a Democratic governor right now? No. Nope, you don't want to live under a Democratic governor right now.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's the proof that I have. The proof is only what I have lived. And I have been in Pennsylvania, and I've been in South Carolina, and I've seen the difference. And we got to get rid of these Democrats. They're fucking insane. And then with
Well,
that, I'm going to go for a beer, and I'll be right back. You can talk to Jet.
oh wow. Hi, Jetty.
Hey, Barbie, I just think that Lois should just like let out some steam and then just wait Just wait, because like Obama done a lot of promises, and it never it just all stayed the same, and people were arguing, and 4 years later over a new candidate. Um, I think the media have managed to push Laurie's buttons, and a lot of Americans. I think they should just ignore it for now, let the dust settle, and then plan how to get rid of these people. And but running to the streets up Capitol Hill with a machine gun and an American flag, with Trump hats on, it's not going to solve it. It's not going to solve it. Like, this needs to be done a couple of steps ahead of the government, and not on the internet talking about it.
It's very
It needs to be done on a
complex.
social level, state by state, and this needs to be done on a social level. People need to start meeting up in the centre of these streets and shit.
Yes,
I mean,
and this is where they get us again. So we don't want to meet on that social level. Wow, it's so complex.
Yep.
Man, guys, when I find myself from 2011 to now, I'm like, fuck balls, man. Fuck balls. I'm being serious. I've paddled forwards and backwards, and it's very strange. Where do you turn? I'm not sure. However, what I'm certain of is being human and being decent. What does that?
It's hard not to pick a side. That's the thing. It's hard not to pick a side. But you need to stay steadfast. You need to stay in the middle, and you need to stay controlled. Because as soon as you start picking a side, your emotions start getting the better of you. And just like Laurie wants to just take to the streets with a fucking machine gun and kill every Democrat she can see.
I feel her.
I know, but it's not going to end well for Laurie, and it's not going to end well for people like her. At the end of the day,
There's a lot of people like me, though.
Well, it's not
Lori,
going to end well if they all react that way.
Lori, it's great to see you, by the way.
Thanks, sweetie. It's great to hear you too. Your voice, you're soothing. Like talking to you, you're soothing me. I like being able to yell. I like being able to get this out, and talking to you is soothing because you're making me think about stuff.
Well, you know I love you.
And talking to you, it helps because you're making me. I've been a wreck. I've been a wreck this past since November 3rd has been.
Well, trust me, sweetheart. I've been a wreck too.
Yeah. They stole the election, and how did they stole it? And there's so much proof.
Lori, maybe they did.
It was always set up to go this way. It was
You
always
think so,
set up
Jed?
to. Yep.
You really believe that?
I really believe that. I really
However,
believe it.
does it matter?
And Trump believes
Lori?
that as well.
Does it matter?
It matters.
How?
I feel like it matters because I want my grandkids to grow up in a country where your vote matters, where you can carry a gun like I do. I could put my gun on. It's all the rights are gonna be taken away. They're already shutting down. Like I said, if they're shutting down Parler, and if we see what they're doing now, they're gonna change the future of what even these kids are gonna grow up with. That's why it matters.
Yeah, maybe. However, I have not learned anything more than I've learned from taking care of my mom. I haven't. She has told me step by step by step. Okay? So we just have to understand truth. That's it.
Is she still alive?
I hope so, man.
So does she know what's going on with this stuff?
More times than none, yes.
I tell you, the older you are, you look back at this and you cry because you're like, this is the country's just
She don't
disintegrating.
cry.
Dad knows. He's like, this is the last bastion of freedom, this country, and you can't help but be upset over this. Like, they're going to take it away, and it's never going to be again, and it's the last holdout on this fucking planet. It's the last bastion of freedom on the planet, and we're not supposed to be upset that we're losing it. What are we gonna have? The whole planet's fucked. There's nowhere to go.
The planet has been through reset fucking many times. Wake up, people.
We have to grieve the last bastion of freedom on the planet, and when you lose that, you cannot not grieve that. You got to know this is messed
Yes,
up.
grieve it. However,
Grieve it.
do you think that we've only been here once?
I don't know. You're going to get into esoteric stuff, which doesn't
It's
matter right
not
now.
esoteric. It's scientifically proven.
I know, but that's just stuff most people wouldn't get on board with right now. It's like, how many lives did I live? And whatever. I know, I believe in all that too, but it ain't
Nine.
gonna help. It ain't gonna help my 7 grandkids grow up and have
Oh,
a nice
Lori, I
future.
love you, sweetie. I love my mom. I've
Laurie, all
been
that's going to happen, right, is you're going to be like me. You're going to have no guns. Like, that's the way I live. No guns. A society without guns. And you're maybe going to have higher taxes a wee bit, but you're still going to be here. You're still going to be surviving. You still can maybe have a hangout and speak
And
to
I
people.
don't think, Jed, I don't think that's gonna happen to me.
I don't
I don't
think
think
it's
that's
the
gonna
end of the
happen to
world.
me in my life. I don't think it's gonna happen to me. I don't think it would happen that fast. I could be wrong, but there's just so many people. I don't think it'll happen to me personally, but I don't want to see my kids and grandkids not be able to do what I've done. I don't think it'll hurt me. I don't think it'll happen that fast, but it will come down the line. And I hate to see these I mean, my grandkids shoot guns and they hunt. I got a granddaughter that already killed a deer, her first. I don't want them to lose the freedoms I had. You know, to put a gun on my side, go to Walmart, and if some asshole decides to become someone that's going to shoot, at least I got my gun out that I could do something. I don't want them, or a woman's going to the car and someone's going to snatch her. She can fight. They're going to take that protection away from my granddaughters. I don't want that to happen. It's not going to happen to me, but I don't want that to happen to them. But you said that happened in your country in the 70s and 80s. How long did it take, Jed? 5 years, 10 years, 2 years?
Oh, it was a couple of years. I can remember when I was a kid, seeing it on the news, and it was like piles of guns, like set on fire. Like, I think they were being destroyed, or they weren't set on fire. They were just being destroyed. There were just piles and piles of people handing in guns because
Oh
they
my
felt
God.
guilty. And I think they might do something like that in America, where there's patriots on the street, and maybe there's a school going by, a school bus,
Right,
and then suddenly, and it could be a false flag, and no patriot does it, but the government might just portray this, and then
They
that's when the
already
guns.
did that, dude.
I know, but it might be on a big scale this time. During all this, it might make people like, oh, get rid of the guns now.
After Sandy Hook,
I know,
people
but
were
Sandy Hook, COVID and all this shit wasn't happening during Sandy Hook.
Oh,
This is
I
this
know, dude.
this
But
is
I'm
now
just saying.
this is now the big time. Whatever's happening
Yeah.
now is for
And you
real.
know,
Like,
I can feel that Jed is like kind of on our side of, like, he doesn't want to see that happen to us, right, Jed? You don't want to see that happen.
no, but I
You
don't think
don't.
that. I don't think you're going to be rounded up and burnt on stakes. That's the thing. I think it'll just be. It'll be
Like a slow
maybe-
burn, a push, yeah.
Probably.
Is that so weird that is Jeff C. really dead?
Yep.
I knew that dude back
You
in.
did?
Yes, of course. 2011. Man.
Aye, the guy. I remember I watched one of JLB's videos, and he mentioned it. But
Yeah,
I
he
remember
did.
he mentioned that about getting curb stomped as well, so he wasn't very sympathetic. And he might not be dead. It might be a fake death.
It's not a fake.
People, as I know, I don't know, but there's already videos of people saying that there's no obituary. And
Man, dudes, trust me, back in Sandy Hook days,
Remember that?
yes, I remember that.
Me too.
Jeff, you've done a lot of videos on that.
So Barbie, did anybody, or you and Jed, did anybody you know come down with this so-called COVID? Because I'll tell you what my experience was over Christmas week. My daughter across the street, her son and her 2 daughters live across the street. And right before Christmas was my granddaughter's birthday. We were over there. my daughter's father-in-law came down positive with COVID. And then a few days later, my granddaughter was sick and she went and she got tested. She tested positive. On Christmas, so I'm like, whatever. So Christmas Day, I had to cook dinner. And I woke up, we went over there for breakfast that morning. And I came home and I had to cook. I felt really awful. It was like I felt bad and I still had to cook. And I didn't want them to know how bad I felt. So my neck was hurting and I just had these horrible body aches. And they all came over and I took a bunch of Tylenol and Ibu and I took a nap. Then they all came over for dinner. Everybody was there and we all started to feel like crap. So I told my daughter, I'm like, I don't feel really good. So it was like the next day, they all went and they got tested. The entire family, they tested positive. So they had 4 out of 4 tested positive. And then my other daughter from South Carolina came up the next day. So they came up and we're like, well, everybody's testing positive. So they only stayed 2 days. Then they went back to South Carolina. They got tested. A family of 5, they all tested positive. Then I came down sick the week after Christmas. So it's like, that's 5 of them, 4 of them. My husband and I, we were sick for like 2 weeks. So we all must have had that so-called virus. And for what it felt to me, it was like the flu, but not as bad as I've had in the past. I was like, I would be down 2 days sleeping, body aches, a lot of body aches, a lot of tiredness. Then I'd get up, I'd feel good for a day. And then like I said, I have sinus now, I feel congested. And it would last like 2 weeks. You'd have good days, bad days. And then you just get better and you go on. So I think it's real. I mean, it's a real virus. We've had it. My husband had it. I had it. My kids had it. My grandkids had it. But after a week or so, you're okay. You're getting back to normal. So have any of you guys had any kind of illness since this whole thing? Like, do you think you had it?
Like I was all at the end of 2019, like in November, and
Yes, I had it then too. I was sicker then than I am now.
but
Yeah.
I thought I had the flu. I thought I had the flu, like the guy at my work. Like we were both doing. I was in my bed for a few days. Like I just thought it was a flu, and then
Right.
that's when COVID-19 kicked off
Came
in
out,
like
yeah.
January, like February.
Yes.
So I don't know.
2009, November 2019, I was really sick. I had to take steroids to stop the cough. And then 2020, I had nothing. And then, like, right about at the end of now Christmas time this year, it wasn't as bad as 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So
the
you
point
didn't have
is,
nothing.
everyone's
You didn't have
surviving.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
even if you have got it, like everyone's survived, everyone's all right, and we should be able to just move on in society without having all these restrictions and lockdowns and masks.
Oh, it's not that simple, though.
But you and your family didn't have anything this year, 2020 and on. You didn't have this.
No.
Okay.
In fact, I was more healthier than ever. I think maybe because people were being cleaner and people were washing their hands. Maybe like I never got a flu or a cold or anything. I was fine.
Yeah.
That was first time in years actually. Like, I thought
that you were fine for a whole year, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Barbie, you and your family were okay this year?
Why do you think I quit smoking?
Did you catch something? You did, huh?
How do I say this without people saying I'm lying? Okay, so my ex-husband's mother-in-law, is that right?
That would be your mom.
No, not my mom. My
He said
mom,
mother-in-law would be your mom.
my mom's safe here in this house because I don't let her go out of it.
So your ex-husband's
mother-in-law, his wife's mom.
Oh, okay.
Has COVID.
Okay.
She has been at a rest home for months. Okay? Months. And yeah, my daughter's a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not chuckle at fucking healthcare.
So did you get sick at all?
Well, I've had my normal shit, yeah? I'm an asthmatic who shouldn't smoke. Mm.
But did you and your kids get the COVID at all?
No, I don't have COVID, I don't think.
Did you get sick this year?
I mean, last Monday, I had a severe asthmatic attack. I'm not sure. It's not COVID. Don't
Okay.
ask me to prove it, Lori.
hmm But I mean, for people that, there's conspiracy theory. Oh, the virus ain't real. The virus, it's real. The virus is real.
It's something is
It's
real.
real. It's real because I'll tell you what, my daughter, her husband, the 2 girls across the street all tested positive. 3 out of 4 of them were sick. Okay. And me and Glenn got it. We were sick. And then my daughter that came up from South Carolina came up. They went back down. The kids weren't really sick, but the parents were. So we were all together Christmas week and we were all sick. And they all tested positive. I didn't go for a test because I'm like, I'm not going for a test. They're not going to give me medicine. Why go for a test? I'm not going to drive the numbers up. But we were sick. And it spread so fast. It was like one person had it, and then all 11 of us had it, like within a week. That's why I know there's something out there, but it ain't going to kill you. There's 11 of us, and we're all fine. There's no reason to wear masks and shut down everything. It's like, get back to life now. Now I can just go on, keep going to the bars. I go to pool, I go to shuffleboard, and we all keep going out. There's no reason to shut anything down.
Oh man.
I was just wondering how you all were doing. Like where Jed is, I was wondering if he knew like anybody. His wife's a nurse, and she never caught it, right, Jed?
Nah, my missus never caught it.
Is she taking the vaccination?
Nah, she's no.
They don't make her
there's
take
a choice. At the end of the day, it's a choice now because, like, if my missus wants to have kids in the future, which she might,
Right.
she's not that old, so she can just say she might want to have kids. She doesn't have to take
Jed,
it.
I'm surprised
Yep.
she doesn't. They give you the choice there. Like she's a nurse in Scotland. She does not have to take
does
it.
your
Yep,
wife deny the virus?
No.
She doesn't deny it. No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, how does
No.
she perceive what's happening?
How are the
What
hospitals here? Yeah. How's
night?
the hospital?
Let him answer.
Yeah.
How does she perceive what's happening?
I think it just looks like what usually happens in flu seasons, but
Mm-hmm.
they've replaced.
Really?
Yep. Well, maybe more than usual. Maybe there's been a higher death rate than usual in like old folks' homes and stuff like that. But I think it's just been work as usual. People die. You know what I mean? Old people die. There's people go underlying
Not old
illnesses.
people die. That's not it. Let's be real, guys. We saw Ben from The Matrix say
Yes.
that all these people in Spain were sick. And so we were willing to call Ben a liar. Fuck you guys. Okay? Fuck you guys.
Who's calling him a liar?
That man didn't lie.
Who's Ben?
Ben,
From the Matrix Decode, right? Matrix Decode.
All right. Matrix Decode.
Yeah.
something's
Yeah.
happening. I don't know what.
Well, Barbie, there's been a lot of time since then. When was that again? Was that like a year ago?
Nye. It's like 4 months ago.
Nah, well, I've not spoke to Matrix Decode in 4 months.
I'm not talking about you, Jed. Forgive me for saying fuck you. But I'm saying something is happening. I'm not sure what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I'm a fucking retard.
You don't think this might have happened to? I don't want to presume that our country is so important that COVID was released to mess up this election. But
Don't
is
say
that
it's fake,
is that a
Lori.
chance? Huh?
Of course, it was released to
Right,
mess
but
up this country.
this
But
country's election,
don't say it's fake, Lori.
it's not fake. I'm just saying, was it released? We're so important of a country. It was released to mess up this election.
We're not that important.
That's what I
However,
was
I
asking.
will agree.
Mhm. I was wondering what you thought, if we're that important, because there's people that think we're so important. This was released to screw up our election.
I mean, here's
I
my
don't know.
thing.
Is Trump that important?
No, these people are fucking needle dick bug fuckers. They
What
are.
do you think, Jed? Was it released to screw up our election? Jed,
Oh, sorry, what was that, Laurie? I was just reading the chat.
you think COVID was released to screw up the American election?
Like I said,
Are we that?
was,
Are we that important? Are we that important in the scheme of the
Right.
world that was released to screw up our election?
was it released, or is it just like another form of the flu that's they've just deliberately no controlled? They've
Because
let it
that
like get into all the old folks' homes, and they've let it spread around.
because of
Uh,
COVID, they did something called mail-in elections, and it's the mail-in elections that screwed everything up this
Lori,
country.
they do mail-in elections every year.
Oh, not like they did this year.
Of course not.
Right. They just mailed those things out to everybody. Do you know in Pennsylvania? Let me tell you something. In Pennsylvania, we had 240,000 more ballots received and counted than we have people that are registered to vote.
Nice.
Right? How can you have 240,000 more counted than we
I
have?
don't know, sweets. I don't know, sweets.
But we're not supposed to be angry and upset.
You can be angry. However, be intelligent while you're angry, damn
I'm
it.
intelligent because I know the fucking numbers. We had over 10,000 people that voted that are dead. They're dead people.
My ex-husband died in January.
And I bet he voted,
He
right?
voted and he
See?
got 2 stimulus checks.
See, Jed, I don't think Jed even understands the depth of how bad this thing was.
What's
Why
happening?
I'm so upset, Jed. We had 10,000 people that voted that are dead. We had
Now,
in this state, just in this state in Pennsylvania. Just
wasn't
in
that happening
Pennsylvania.
Didn't that happen with Bush? Like, did he not get in by beating Rodney?
Not this many. Not this many.
it
No.
did.
Al Gore. I'm sure he beat Al Gore by doing some shit like that. I'm
Right.
sure.
It is just it's the numbers this year, and that's why they were bringing all this up in Congress this week when those people stormed the Capitol, because they were saying what happened.
Oh my God, I want a cigarette.
I do
However,
too. I'm going to go out and have one.
Lori, you can be a
Really,
patriot
I am.
or be a sucker. It's your choice, sweets.
I've never been this upset.
Okay, well, rational it out. Okay.
And sometimes Jed, you have crossed my mind when I've been this upset. I'm like, people like Jed and they're over there in their country and they don't have the guns and and they're still living and they still go about that. And that actually crossed my mind, because I do think of other people and I'm like, I almost like I can't go on. I'm so upset. And then I think about you guys and I'm like, they don't have what I have. And now I'm going to lose this. And I'm so devastated.
You're just moving over to a more like that. You're just moving on a more European way, because that's
it's just horrible to take.
Lori, you're swimming over shit. Okay? You live in America.
Not anymore.
Yes, you do.
We live in Biden, China.
You live in America. Stop thinking of these people as opposite teams. They are the fucking one team.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I seen that this week when the Republicans wouldn't even back up. I seen that. They wouldn't even stand up for Trump. I seen that.
Lori, the world needs you.
Yeah,
The
I thought the
world
world.
needs me. And I didn't even realize it for like fucking the last year. I want a cigarette, by the way, but
I know. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's a terrible thing to just go cold turkey like that.
it is cold turkey, mother.
You should just like go a little at a time.
Aye.
I'm so old at this point. I ain't giving anything up. I'm not giving up anything. I'm not giving up my beer, my guns, my cigarettes. I'm not giving up anything.
I don't give up shit.
I ain't giving up anything. Right, Jed?
Same
Not doing it.
difference
Of
as
course.
don't give up. Don't
I
give
don't
up
think
truth.
I don't think that much is going to change, to be honest with you.
I hope you're right, Jed.
I don't. I think a lot of this stuff that Biden says is just opposite of Trump, just to get support. And once they get in power, nothing really changes. We know this.
You know why it didn't change, Jed? It didn't change before because we had like the House, we had the Senate, we have the presidency, and you have the three things of power that kind of equal out each other. So you have Republicans in this, you have Democrats in that, and you have the presidency. But after what happened Monday, when the Democrats took over Georgia, they got in. Now we have a Democratic president. You have the House and the Senate. They own everything. There's nothing to stop. What if they want to say we can do a transgender bathroom? There's nothing to stop. There's nothing to stop the Democrats. There's no,
Dude,
and these three houses, there is nothing to stop the Democratic Party. What do they want to bring your guns back? Raise your taxes, raise gas, put transvestites in the bathrooms. They can do anything now, Jed. That's why I'm so upset.
Let them build the bathroom. Let them build the bathroom. Big fucking deal. There's an extra bathroom there. You're not going to be using it. Fuck the bathroom.
That's just an example. That's what I'm saying.
Same with the statues. No, I used to get like emotional when I seen the statues getting ripped down.
Right.
And I think, do you know what? They're just fucking pieces of metal and stone. They can be replaced.
We could be replaced. I know. I went through that too.
I mean, well, these bathrooms will be used once a week by who?
They're already trying. They're going on the internet already and not letting you get gun parts that you used to get. Like my husband's all into the internet with his guns and his gun parts, and he keeps track of that. And he's like, they're already stopping you from getting things on the internet to build your guns. So they're already doing that, and they're not in power till the 20th. What are they going to do in the next 4 years? We're okay, but why are they doing this already? They're going to have total control.
Of course.
There's
a guy in Scotland that's in jail that he was found buying black market like pieces of gun over the internet, and he built a gun over here, and he got jailed for like 10 years or something.
That's a damn shame. And here that's normal. We do that here.
Parts. I can 3D print a fucking 9mm.
We do that over here. We get my son-in-law.
I can 3D print a 9mm, motherfuckers.
We got AR-15s over here. We buy these pieces, we put them together, and we got them, and then the government don't know you have them, and that's what we do. We buy these little pieces.
See, at the end of the day, guns are primitive fucking machines. They've got no electronic parts. It's just a move swinging gun, usually hitting some kind of gunpowder.
Yes,
so even if they did ban all the guns, take away all the guns, I'm sure you could get a pipe, some gunpowder, and make your own. Like, that's what we do. That's what we do.
I want to know the next step.
What next step?
What?
Next step for what?
The next step beyond guns.
Bombs?
Learning to use your fists when you fight people.
We're too old for that.
You're saying guns are primitive, basically.
Yeah.
What's the next step?
The next step's solving problems without pointing guns at each other, I suppose.
How do you do that?
Take away guns.
And?
Yeah, but Jed's not into that either.
And
Jed's not
Yes,
educate
he
into
and
is.
that.
and
No, he's
Jed
not.
educate
is.
and educate
Lori?
the people.
Jed's
Educate the
not a
people.
proponent of taking away the guns.
Yes, he is.
He's
No, it's
heartbroken over what's. Jed is heartbroken
The-
over what has happened to us
the
right now.
the thing is, I wouldn't like guns to be reintroduced into my country. Because
You would.
I wouldn't
You
want
wouldn't.
guns.
How come?
I wouldn't want guns to be, because society is all right the way it is right now. It's
Oh,
going to
your
be
society
tested.
is okay with that? Yeah. With 5 million people in your country, I have 13 million people in this state alone. That's the difference, Jed. You have 5 million people in your country. I have 13 million in this state, and there's 50 states. How,
But what-
that's
What
why.
difference does that make to owning a gun or not?
It
No,
makes a big
nothing.
difference, Jed.
Nothing.
You have 5
When-
million
when
people
have
in
you
your
ever had to
country.
pull? When have you had to pull your gun out to, like?
I have. When I was living
I
when I
haven't.
was when I was first living in New Jersey, and I was home alone. It was like 40 years ago, and I could hear the car alarm. I could hear my car alarm going off, and I was home alone, and I came out with my gun, and that was the first time I pulled. But I did pull my gun to go out and see who was breaking into my car, and I've just always had a gun on me, and I would pull it, but I did pull it that night. But
With it.
a country of 5 million people, I mean, we have 13 in this state.
We are fucked up, Lori.
I know.
Look at all the black people shooting each other with fucking guns. Get what I mean?
Lori, we are so fucked up.
But I know in Jed's heart, he does not believe in taking away the guns of America because we're the last
Yes, he
bastion.
does. Of
No, he
course
doesn't.
he does.
Jed, get that straight. He does not.
He believes in
I s-
peace.
I
He
see
doesn't believe in
I see
taking
a
our guns
future
away.
in America, like, being able to survive without every citizen's being armed to the fucking teeth.
Yes, of course.
I believe they should. I believe they still should have the right to own a weapon if they want to go
I
hunting.
told you,
if they-
Barbie. I know he thinks
What
we
What
should
kind of
have that right.
weapon? You're asking Jed to descriptively. Am
I
I
just
going
asked his opinion. What
I think
does he think we should?
I think it's crazy in America how some people have got bazookas and tanks. It
Oh,
baffles
Lori.
my mind.
Lori,
Yes, dear.
do we live in this crazy world of love?
Oh
or
my
not?
God. You know what it is too, Barbie, like about the guns? We are supposed to have the same amount of firepower as the government.
Mhm.
That's what this was about. We are supposed to have equal force to the government. Now, I know we don't have their bazookas and their tanks, but the whole thing was written like if they have automatic guns, we have automatic guns.
I think it's so sad.
That
It's
we
gone
have to
beyond
do
that
that.
now, eh? And the technology's gone beyond that now. When
Oh, yeah.
when that rule was written, Laurie, they didn't
Yes.
know that people in the future were going to have AK-47s and
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
crazy weaponry in the
Right.
future. They
Right.
had flintstock pistols when they
Yes.
wrote this law.
But
So-
don't tell me
Yeah,
I
right.
have to have a revolver with 6 shots in it when they can come in with their like we have to have
How do you solve it?
something. I don't know. We could never fight against the
I
government. I know that. I know that.
I got.
But if you have 100 million Americans with all their guns, they would think twice about that.
And then we get into this weird, trippy, new world people. It's so strange.
Like you?
Like I'm strange. Yes.
The Wild West's over, Laurie. The Wild West is over.
Oh, darn it, Jen. No. No way. Come on. I was going to invite you over and bring you to my range. Come on.
I went to see my son tonight.
Where was
He was
he at?
changing his fucking brakes and all this shit. And I looked at him and I thought, how beautiful is that?
What's that?
My son.
Fixing
How-
something. Your little creation is now fixing something.
Yes,
Cool.
he's
That's
so
cool, eh?
beautiful.
I look at my son sometimes like that and think, God, I created him and now he's creating something. He's
Yeah, isn't that cool?
It's so
It's a cool
cool.
thing.
Wait, do you have grandkids, Jed? Do you have an older son, Jed? You have grandkids yet?
I've not got grandkids. No,
No.
no,
Okay.
I do.
no.
Yep, we do.
God, I'll be an old granddad. A young granddad, sorry. 38.
I was a grandparent by the time I was your age, Jed.
38. You were a
Yeah,
granny.
I was a grandparent by your age. Yeah, I was. My oldest daughter had her daughter. Yep.
Cool.
My
Yep. By the time I
son
was
will
38,
turn. I'm getting so fucking old, dude.
we're the same age, aren't we, honey?
No, you're older than me.
Probably by a year or two.
No, more than a year or two.
I thought we were both born in the 60s.
I was born in the 60s, but don't exaggerate it.
Yeah, we're both born in the 60s. What the hell? You weren't born in the 80s?
I was born in 67.
See, I told you. We're not that far apart. We're 4 years apart. There you have it. We're both in our 50s, honey.
So my wee son, what a
We're both in our 50s. Yeah.
what a beautiful piece of work. What a beautiful piece of work.
And Jed is young enough to be our kid. That's a shame.
I don't want him to be our kid.
No.
Don't ruin my dream here.
But as long as I've known Jed, I sometimes have ideas like I wish that Jed could come visit here and we could show. I would love to be able to show him places in America. Oh, why are you laughing?
No, I think it's cool, but I think it's just a bygone age. I think it's just like I think when I look at the old Western times in America and the old colonial times and the old gold rush days, and it seems to me, but this is now another date and another age where America's going to be different. It's going to be different.
And you don't want to see that happen.
No, not really, but it's like join the club. It's like join the club. We're fucked as well.
Yes, I would love to see your country, and I would love to have you here and show you ours. I'd love to give you a tour. All the little videos I used to do.
Or the mountains and all that. Well,
yeah, I would love to show you that. I live very close to them. I moved a couple miles into the town, out of that, off the mountain and a little more south, but it's only like 15 minutes away. I'm very close to that. But I'm not in that horrible house that was such a cold, dark house. But I remember walking and making those videos and thinking, I wish Jed was here with me. I would like to show him these things, and I would love to go over there and see this like a cultural exchange. You know what I mean? Stop being a dirty old lady, Barbie.
Sexy motherfucker.
Yeah, I wish Jed was here. I'd show him this stuff, take him out to the bars and show him that I would love that, like this cultural thing. And I've never been over there. I'd love to see that.
Nice.
I'd let Jed shoot all my AKs and ARs and take them to the range. So nice.
I've shot clay pigeons with a shotgun, and I've went to the clay pigeons, and we can still shoot stuff here. We can shoot deer and pheasant.
That's fun, yeah.
But it's heavily regulated. It's very heavily. It's heavily regulated.
So do you have places you could go hunting? Like you could take your gun and go.
We can have a gun, but we have to have a gun closet, and the gun closet has to be registered to the police, and everything has to be registered. But you can still have a gun here. But if you've got a criminal record and you go and try and get registered, you're not going to get it probably. You have to have a.
But you can't have it for protection. You can only have it for sportsmen.
Oh no. Yep. If someone breaks into your home and you shoot them, you're going to jail.
If they break into your house, if they break into your house, you can't shoot them.
Yep. No, you can't shoot them. You maybe smack them in the face with a gun. You maybe get away with that.
How different is that, Barney? We can blow them right off the front lawn. It's like gone.
Hey, Lori.
Yes,
nice. I'm gonna behave here.
How come you didn't put your camera on tonight, sweetie?
Because it don't work.
Oh, I seen it on before a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Hey, did you guys see? I don't know why this just popped into my mind, but we're the people we used to know. Did you see like Antonio? He's sick and he's dying or whatever. He's got the cancer. How sad is that?
Is that motherfucker seriously dying?
I think so. I think so. He
I
had
thought
stage. He has
I thought
stage
he
4
fought it.
cancer.
I
Huh?
thought he fought it. I thought he
He
fought
did.
it and
He
beat it.
fought it, but he hasn't made a video for like 6 weeks.
Lori, that's so sad, right?
It's very sad. He was saying he's fighting it, and then he was in a mental institution because he had a breakdown. He had a breakdown,
It's
and it was really horrible. And then
it's
he
bad.
came out of the mental institution, and then I think he was by his sister or something. And then I seen him in John LeBon. What made me think of it was John LeBon was on earlier. I seen
It's
him in
so
there like
bad.
2 nights ago in John LeBon's. He said, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh my God, he's still around. Thank God he's still okay." So I hope he's okay. That was a damn shame.
Yeah, it's so bad.
When you see somebody that you've watched for like 5,
Mhm.
7 years, and all of a sudden they go through this, how horrible is that?
Yep.
It's very bad.
It's very bad because I don't know. It's just so. It's just I wasn't that close to him or not, but we've talked to him. We've watched him, and then you see someone going through that. Oh, that's
It's
awful,
very bad.
Mhm.
isn't it? I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
I know.
Except
I hope
want
he's all right.
cigarette, motherfucker.
I seen him 2, 3 nights ago, and he was in John LeBon's, and I said, "Hey, Antonio, how good
Was
to
he
see you."
really?
He
This
said, "Good to see you too." He's still okay. He's still alive. That's terrible. He's a young guy too.
The thing is,
He's younger than
he's
us.
stubborn. He's stubborn. He thinks he can do the alternative thing.
Yes,
The
yes.
alternative,
Oh,
and
He
it's
was starving himself. He was going to beat it by. He was going to not eat and not drink. He
because
was
he
like,
believes it's a fungus and candida and stuff like that.
so he
it
wasn't
might
eating
be
or
a
drinking.
fungus.
He was fasting.
He was fasting and not even drinking. And I was like, oh my
Mhm.
God, this poor guy.
Cancer might be a fungus.
What can be fungus?
Cancer
Is that right? Yeah. Maybe he thought that because he
be
wasn't
a
eating.
fungus.
Hmm.
However, don't rely on this.
Mm-hmm.
It might be.
Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows, sweetie? Who
I'm
knows?
not.
Well, hopefully he gets better. Like
Yeah.
he's a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
That
fighter,
he is.
Antonio.
That he is.
Lori, you're looking quite healthy.
Just sit around and eat, baby.
Oh, my God, man. The last week without smoky treats has been fucking detrimental.
Do you have any cigarettes in your house right now?
Nine,
Oh,
not
you're fucked.
fucking one.
You're fucked. Oh, you're fucked.
Man, I want to smoke.
You poor thing. I would never do that to myself.
You must do this to yourself.
I would never. Oh, wait. I never even looked at chat all night. Oh, there's Rock Clever. His sister committed him because he was taking MMS and cannabis, and he was dying. Yeah. Rock Lover said his sister committed him because he was taking MMS and cannabis, and he was dying. Yeah.
The thing is, if it's throat cancer, you can. That's one of the ones you can cure. You can take parts out. You can remove any tumorous stuff. And because my father-in-law, he had it, and he speaks all rough now, but he got rid of the throat cancer. If it's stomach cancer or something like that, that's when you're fucked. Again, it's these are one of the ones that really kills you. But if Antonio can just get like surgery or something like that and stop thinking about silly alternative stuff like silver.
Right.
Oh, turpentine.
Well, he said something when he was locked up. When he was locked up in the mental institution, he said that he promised his daughters that if his silly stuff did not work, he didn't say silly stuff. If his ideas did not work, then he was going to go with the main cures. He was going to go with whatever they said. So he must be going through that now. He promised his daughters he would go with normal treatment if his didn't work.
What is normal treatment?
I guess the chemo and all that radiation and chemo.
My God.
I know. I know.
Let off the fucking gas pedal.
I gotcha. I know.
Behave.
hmm I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying he said he would go for treatment if it did not work.
Off these crazy motherfuckers.
hmm But I hope he's okay because he had that cut out of him and whatever. But it was just horrible seeing him change like that online. He lost all that
Oh,
weight.
he said he had this cut out of him and
Yeah, I
that
know.
cut out of him, and
It was terrible seeing someone like do like that. I know.
dude,
I know. I remember what was that other guy that died, Jed? That guy that died a couple years ago. Was
Chris
his name
Rock,
Chris?
Sheeps and
Chris?
Apes.
Sheeps and Neeps.
Chris
Yeah,
Rock as well.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
I
That's
like
the one.
Sheeps and Neeps. He was a
Mhm.
nice guy.
Yeah. That's how long we've been on this freaking internet thing with knowing people that it's been like since
Sheeps and Neeps.
2015, and then we're like all of a sudden.
We're gonna watch it. We're all gonna watch each other die unless
know.
YouTube ends sometime. Like if we stop making videos, we're gonna watch each other die eventually. I think.
I know. I know.
Which is
Jed,
a sad thing.
I have to thank you for letting me on here tonight because it's been a really rough time.
No,
And thank you for letting me air it out.
You're welcome. Like, obviously, you got to be frustrated, but don't let your emotions get the better of you, Laurie. Because if you can get too angry, it can cloud your judgment. You know what I mean? Like running out in the street and shooting Democrats. Like that's not the way. It's not going to end well for you. And like just take a deep breath. Think about what's happened. Think of what's happened in the past. Like shit doesn't really change that much. Like. And if it
we
does,
had
it's going to be
Obama for
small.
what, 8
it's
years?
going to be small ones. It's going to be we'll take away your ammo for the AR-15s or what the fuck it is. We'll take away this.
That's right. AR-15.
We'll raise the tax by 2%. Again, I think it'll be small bits and pieces.
Yep.
I wouldn't worry too much, Laurie, unless they're like banging down your door. And
right.
You're usually safe and sound in your own little bubble, aren't you? With your husband and your family, and that's all you need to worry about. That's all you need to worry about is your family and the people that you love and the people around you. Fuck everybody else. Fuck Biden. Fuck Trump. Fuck these people. They didn't care about you. Why care about them?
Right.
Care about the people around you. Put all that emotion, all that energy that you're having, that you're stressing, and turn it into positive for your family around you, and just ignore this fucking cloud. That's
right.
It's just a fucking cloud, and it'll clear eventually. It's a cloud in your mind, in a way. I've been the same. I remember like during the Scottish independence, you wouldn't understand the patriotism with Scotland and freedom, and we were so gunned up for independence, and then we were let down by a 1%. It was like 51% to 49%. Like that was the vote.
I would love to hear that story, Jed. I would love to know that
filmed my
happened.
vote. I filmed my vote. I actually recorded myself voting, like secretly filmed myself voting. I put it on YouTube, but then I took it down because I thought that might be a bit illegal.
When was this? How long was this? When would this happen?
This was like 2014, 15 sort of time.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
But I lost all faith in politics. I was angry. I went through all the emotions. I thought, oh God, the place is going to be so different. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. And do you know what? Nothing really fucking changed. Nothing really fucking changed. And all that changed is I lost faith in politics, and I stopped really looking at sides.
So you know exactly what I'm feeling.
Oh, aye.
You do. You know exactly what I'm feeling.
Really deep depression, like really let down with the rest of the country. Disappointed with your fellow American. Like I was disappointed with my fellow Scot. I was thinking, how the fuck can you vote against freedom?
Right.
Things like I was going through all the emotions, but then I realised it isn't worth it. The only people that are worth the emotions is the people in your life. I mean, you can't change what's happening, really. You can't change it.
Thank you so much for telling me that. I would have never known that you went through something so similar.
Last time I vote.
Yeah.
And that made me realize that you shouldn't be taking sides. Whatever what's going to happen is going to happen. It is. Like they've the powers that be have got this planned either way, whatever's going to happen.
Boy, you're right on.
We just need to roll
Wow.
with it. We just need to roll with it, Laurie.
Because you
We
told me that
can't roll
story,
with it.
because he told me that story, that puts more weight to his words. He could have just said whatever he said and it wouldn't have meant anything to me. But because he told me what he went through, that means 10 times more. It puts more meaning to what you said.
I was one of the biggest patriots you could find. I had flags flying from my window, Scotland flags, and I was going around preaching to everybody about independence and getting on social media telling everybody they should be voting independence. And it's kind of like the Trump thing, can wave an American
that's what
flag.
I mean. You know how I feel.
Oh, aye.
You know exactly how I feel.
And to be so close, like it was the same with us. We're beaten by 1%. It was like 49-51.
Oh my
It was
God.
like.
But do you feel that they won that realistically, or did they cheat? They cheat that win.
I think they cheated, but I just have to accept it. You know what I mean? I can't change it. Everyone else thinks it was real and it was fair and fucking everything else. So like I can't change their opinion. So I just need to accept what happened and realize that my vote didn't really fucking matter in the first place.
And this happened like in 2014, 15?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's fascinating. Thank you for sharing that with me.
No.
Now I know, like, when you make all your little jabs and your little, like, you really know what's going on. You really do. You really know what we're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Have you just discovered this?
What's that? What's your time?
Barbie's pissed.
I'm pissed. Yes.
Have you just discovered this? Is that what you said?
Yes, I did.
Who are you asking that of?
Of you, Lori.
Oh, I didn't know about Scotland shit. I didn't know that Jed went through that. It was so similar to ours.
We wanted independence.
I study history, but not recent history. I know about British history, but I don't know about recent history. But that's fascinating that what he said. Now I want to go and look out, like he said, like in the 80s, they took the guns away, and then he just went through this vote thing that didn't work out. I actually want to read about that. That's really, I'm amazed. I'm like, wow, it's not just fucking me.
Oh my God.
Right? Yeah, I know British history, but I don't know recent history.
There's parallels. There's definitely parallels with it. But I think they're trying to get rid of nationalistic. Well, no nationalism. That whole. I think they want a more communal patriotism. You know, this red, white, and flag patriotism. They want a more like socialistic patriotism, if you know what I mean.
Right.
It's a bit like the Russians. They love their country. They love their government.
I know they do. Isn't that
they love their government. They were more national than anybody. The communists were nationalistic more than anyone. Same with the Nazis.
Right?
The Nazis were nationalistic as hell.
That's not fair.
And but they were. That's what Nazi was. It was nationalistic Zionistic party or something. Nationalistic Zionists.
Wait.
Nazi.
Are you still working, Jed?
Yep.
Do you have to wear a mask when you go out?
No, when I'm in the van, I don't. When I'm sitting with my workmates in the van, we don't wear masks or anything. But when we go in the jobs, there's certain people that would prefer us to wear a mask, like old people. And so I think I'm not going to be a snowflake about it. If I have to work for half an hour with a mask on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you have to work, I believe in that.
But then when I'm back at my house and I go out to the shops and I don't wear masks or that.
Right.
Neither does my son when he comes with me, and he doesn't wear a mask. He's too young anyway.
Is your son in school with in-person school?
He's in high school.
Does he go to school or does he do it at home?
10th grade.
And now he goes to high school. But he's not going to high school lately because they've locked down again the schools. So
you got to do virtual school?
Aye.
Oh, see, that's how it is here.
Yep.
That's how it is here.
That's maybe
you got to do virtual. Oh my
maybe
God.
the future for everybody. Maybe there's going to be a whole new system for everyone.
There's not going to be a whole new system.
I hope not. I was just wondering, it's amazing. Scotland's on virtual school, and we're in freaking Pennsylvania, USA, and we're on virtual school.
We are on virtual school. Wake
you
up,
are
bitch.
too. I know. It's amazing. Even Jed, I thought the kids would be in school. Wow.
fuck are you guys saying?
I would have thought that they would have maybe had in-person school. I
No, I
don't
think
know.
now there's some kids going to school here, but I think it's if their parents are both have to
Oh
work.
my
And what
They
they
have to
called
work.
what they called when they're what they called the
I love
workers.
you,
The
Lori.
workers.
However, allow me
I
for
can't
being
remember what
an
they called it.
asshole.
Essential workers.
Essential.
Aye. When if both parents are essential workers, the schools
They'll
still
babysit
open
the
up.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll
So they're still
babysit the kids.
the
Uh-huh.
schools will still babysit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go outside and have a cigarette, Barbie.
I'm
Oh
going to
my
fire away
God!
and go to my bed anyway. So cheers for
Don't
coming on,
talk
guys.
to me about a cigarette,
I
man.
just told her I'm going out for a cigarette. Isn't that awful?
I'm
I'm go-
gonna fucking smoke my ass.
Barbie, thanks for coming on. You've been cool. And I hope America doesn't change too much. I don't think it will.
It
I think
will
all this
change so much.
talk before, like communist Biden, and I think it's all just talk just to get fucking. It was just to get the
Dude,
brownie points. I think it's all
just
just
give me a
the same
cigarette.
shit.
Just give her a cigarette and shut up and give her a
Aye.
cigarette. She'd love
Anyway,
to give you a
cheers
cigarette.
for coming on, good guys. You have been good. See
Thank
you
you
later.
for having me, Jed. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah,
This has
right.
been
Good
great.
night. Good night,
Bye.